We're streaming. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone around the world. This is Wraithkind back again. The first episode of 2018 of The Protectors. So, on the heels of you guys returning from Feywild, you find out that things aren't going so well. Nearly 2 months had passed while you were in the Feywild, thanks to the difference in how time works when you transit back from Feywild to the Prime Material Plane. Worse still, Beetle and Velis have forgotten everything that the Protectors have done in the Feywild. Aside from various sketches that they made or various things that Velis may have written down.
I always keep a running tally what's going on.
Yeah. You return to find Veryl. The magic that she cast in desperation having taken a toll on her body, aging her even more than is what is normal, even for her advanced age. She tells you that Silverymoon was being attacked. You returned to Silverymoon via teleportation, thanks to Veryl, to find 5 Githyanki airships hovering over and, strategically bombing the city as the Githyanki army in the city worked against the resistance, trying to stamp it out. With your help, the trend of the conquest of Silverymoon was reversed very, very handily, as you guys destroyed 4 airships, captured one for yourself, renaming it and christening it the Silver Lining. However, there is still an arcane vortex that's descending and kind of surrounding the High Palace, keeping everyone out of the High Palace. And anyone that goes in this arcane vortex that never comes out. You suspect that the Chalice of Creation used to summon the Tear of Eo, and which is needed for the resurrection of Moander, the dead god of disease and decay and corruption, is inside of this maelstrom. You have some tenuous connection, though, some hint or clue of 3 potential ritual sites that you're not really sure if they are to maintain the vortex as a defensive measure or to assist with whatever is going on at the High Palace. But Elsbeth the Red, along with Taryn Hornblade and a codgy old Ross Goddard, has tasked you or asked you all to help them. They still have a city to run. They still have the recovery process of cleaning up the city and taking care of the dead, and they simply don't have the manpower to take care of these 3 ritual sites. You find yourself in the city jail, the makeshift headquarters of the government in exile, as it were, since they're no longer in the High Palace. They're technically in exile, only by, a quarter mile or so.
A better reason to be in the city jail than most for adventurers.
True, it's a very secure place. And you all had removed yourselves from the office after agreeing to help with this task. I believe you guys had agreed, yes?
We agreed provisionally.
And you all were discussing this matter, and as you guys were discussing this matter, Beetle, you look around to notice it had been some time now, about an hour discussing this matter. You look around and notice that sometime during the course of the conversation, both Velis and Banner have disappeared. They left.
They pulled a vanishing act.
So, all right.
What time of day is it?
It is.
Also, did Lycum not see anything? Because his passive perception is dumb. So
It's a
Did
more
I
a
s-
matter of
I would assume you saw them leave.
okay, that's as
I
long as I
mean-
saw them leave and like they just walked out. That's fine. I
Yeah,
They
just
yeah.
just
didn't know
disappear in front of you.
Yeah.
Since you have godlike perception,
that.
I still think that's broken, but whatever. I mean, that's the rules. It's the way it is. Whatever.
Yep.
It's all cool. It's all good. Yeah, you notice that they actually what you notice is that Velis kind of nudged Banner, and he's kind of whispered something, and he just left. And Banner's kind of stayed there for a few more moments, like looking around, trying to decide, okay, do I stay or do I go? And then he like, I'm out of here. This is, and so he, a few moments later, follows Velis out. You saw them both kind of go down the stairs. Which brings us back to the group in the jail. What are you guys doing? I know you have some discussion on staffing your newfound airship. I hope you all got the airship document that I put into Skype chat. If you have not, it is there. I would highly encourage you to get it. I will this once go over some of it with you if you guys
Where
don't
is it?
mind. It's in Skype chat.
Probably a million entries above.
It's not that far back, actually.
Oh.
It's probably-
Well, I'll drop it in there again since I'm opening it. I can drop it back.
Oh, I
in
see
there
it.
again.
I will say it's fabulous.
There you go. So
I know that Beetle and Velis are going to wholeheartedly agree on the Library of the Arcane.
So yeah, basically the silver lining, the document that I sent you has all of the specifications for it, and for our viewers, I will put it over here so that you all can see it. My
Sweet.
nice document here. It gives you the specifications of the power crystals. Crystals each have 180 hit points. They cannot be healed or repaired. Once they're gone, they're gone. They have to be replaced, like a car battery. Defenses, there's a 1-inch iron sheathing on the hull protecting its draft, which is, for those of you who are not ship-minded, that's the bottom of the ship. Cruising speed is 2 miles an hour. Doesn't sound like a lot, but the ship goes 24/7. If you around the clock, it can be moving, which is nets faster than a horse or any other land vehicle. Again, only if properly staffed. You need 2 full shifts of crew being capable of navigating. Full speed is 3 miles an hour. Boost speed is 5. However, your crystals will sustain additional damage for every day. For every hour spent at that speed. Maximum altitude is 5,000. Hit points 250. Threshold 10. Now the fun stuff. The armament. You have 4 top-mounted ballistae, 4 hull-mounted ballistae that's actually pointing downwards for bombardment purposes. 2 port and starboard fire barrel racks. Basically, they're barrels full of nasty, flammable stuff that ignite on impact. In other words, they have a low flash point, people. Be mindful of it.
You're bringing out my inner strategy gamer.
I know. Well, so am I. Full crew complement. I'm not going to go through it, but it's there. The total number of crew, vanilla, is 70. And you'll see why I say that in a minute. Munitions complement 500 fire barrels, 250 ballista bolts, 100 fire bolts, 100 chain bolts. I may need to tweak the chain bolt and its mechanics a little bit, so be mindful of that. Upgrade slots. Now, this is where it gets really fun. There are upgrade slots divided into specific areas of the ship, along with a list of possible upgrades. Each section has 2 upgrade slots that can be used. For example, the deck and hull has 2 slots available. The lower deck upgrades have 2 slots available, and the hull upgrades has 2 slots available. Almost all of these upgrades have some kind of trade-off. Okay, so be mindful of that. These upgrades can affect the ship's speed. These can affect the number of crew that you can have, the amount of armament that you can have. There's always some kind of trade-off, but 9 times out of 10, the benefits outstrip the detriments. Example for Beetle, I had you in mind. Expanded workshop, including which puts an alchemy bench in it. The cost is 1,500 gold. Takes 3 days to install. The benefits of this, which is anything with a plus sign. Healing or damaging potions made from this bench gain extra healing or damage equal to the creator's intelligence modifier. Potions made from this bench that has a duration component, for example, a potion of flying, gain a duration equal to the creature's intelligence modifier.
Is it like extra minutes?
Yeah.
Per. Okay.
Yeah. In other words, if your intelligence modifier is a godlike 5, you get an additional 5 minutes. It might not seem much, but when time is a factor, it could be the difference between flying and falling. So, of course, the trade-off is that it takes up more space on the deck, reducing the number of crew complement by 6.
This Library of the Arcane is essential for us.
Library. Now, keep in mind, the Library of the Arcane and the Shrine are only for when you're on the ship. It does not help you or benefit you when you're not on the ship. Just wanted to make that double clear. I think I make that clear in the description. If I didn't, I am now.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would be OP. Way too OP.
None of us have proficiency in alchemy supplies, do we?
No. I think the chef's mess is pretty sweet for everybody, though.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
That's
So anyway, I'm not going to go through all of the upgrades, but there's 4 for each section. And as you meet new people and greet new shipwrights, you may very well run into a few more upgrades. Something to keep in mind.
Great. Now we have to go find all the collectibles on the map.
Well, that was not my intent, but hey,
I'm a completionist, damn it.
I'm just saying that the potential for expansion is there.
I have to 100% this D&D campaign.
So
Is there a navigation bobblehead?
We can make one. We can have
All right.
Aramanthos carve one
So,
for us.
and I might tweak this in a little bit here and there, but I think for the most part it is in its final state, and I may eventually even put it up on DM Guild just for fun. But anyway, so familiarize yourself with that, and hopefully you guys can have some fun with that. Back to the city jail, discussing what you guys are going to do next. What are you going to do?
We are going to figure out where the hell Velis and Banner went. We're kind of in the middle of a conversation here that we can't finish making decisions without them, those assholes.
Just hang out for an hour and we'll be back.
Yeah.
Dawn suddenly feels like she can do
Just hit
more.
just hit the rest button on the Skyrim menu and
Yeah,
we'll just fast forward to
Actually, I misspoke. It has not been an hour. It's been a little bit over an hour, about an hour and a half. And Banner Velis, this is post your experiences
Oh.
And you guys are on the cusp of returning to the city jail. Seeing.
Do you think they noticed if we were gone?
They seemed like they were caught up in their discussion.
Yes, I think you're quite right. I do believe it was. Well, I'm glad you went with me. I'm sorry if I took you away from something you were terribly interested in, but I really needed to find out whether or not they were safe. And can you believe what he did?
Yeah, that was interesting. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Do you think he'll teach me how to do that?
I mean, are you going to see him anytime soon?
I don't know if we ever make it back here, of course. I hope to. I certainly hope we make it back to Silverymoon. I mean, make sure that it's been rebuilt.
Well, it might come in handy. Next time
Yes.
someone runs me through in the middle of a street again.
Yes, that was terrible. I can't imagine it. So what did that feel like to die? Or did you almost die? Did you actually die? I don't remember.
Oh, Velas. This is what Banner's doing. I just acting it all out.
I'm sorry. That was probably callous of me to ask that question. I apologize.
Actually, Velas, about what happened back there in the street.
Yes.
Just wanted to give you one piece of advice.
Yes.
What I've always found that the best way to get past all the death and destruction is to remember that you're alive and to spend every day celebrating that. So meet me in the kitchen later and we're going to have lots to drink.
Yes. I think that sounds delicious. I wonder what they've been talking about up there while we've been gone. I hope they've come to a decision. I don't really care where we go, but I will say that after the stories we heard about Cinder Crown and Hell's Gate, are we sure that's where we want to go?
Well, if you'll recall, the decision that we reached
as
part because
as you're saying that, Velas, you all are heading up the stairs up to the second floor of the city jail, and you all actually hear the tail end of that conversation of what Velas has said, and you notice, among other things, that Velas has a large leather-bound book that he's carrying as he returns.
A little light reading.
Well, it's rather heavy. It's about 4 or 5 pounds.
Yeah, that was a joke.
Have you finally written down your stories?
No, this is a history of Hell's Gate Keep.
Oh.
Don extends a finger and prods Velas in the forehead. He says, "Where were you? We were talking, and you left."
Yes, we had decided. Well, we had decided that we were going to go to Hell's Gate Keep. And, well, I had lost my patience.
Mage hand flick.
Ow! It was odd. I had lost my. Honestly, I kind of lost my patience. I really needed to know how things were at the college, and I also thought that maybe there'd be something to read, something there that might give us a little idea of what we'd be going into at the Hell's Gate Keep, as it were.
And I didn't want him to die.
Yes,
And
Banner. There were vicious things around, but. So found this, and I hand it to Beetle. You might want to peruse it. You can probably read as quickly as I can. Hell's Gate Keep, bad, very bad. Many demons and devils and monsters. Yes, so should be an interesting experience. Assuming, well, I don't know exactly what kind of beast would be left there by now, but oh yes, horrible story. So,
Basically, think giant demon hole.
yeah, Hell's Gate is an apt term for what it is. It's not like something, let's name this so it'll scare people away. It is named because we want to stay, pardon my vernacular, the fuck away. But, yeah.
Well,
Well, under normal circumstances. Wait, Velis, before they ask questions, you should probably fill them in on what you told me about Veril, too.
what about Beryl?
Oh, yeah, she has returned to Evelyn. She let me know that there are 3 stones. Oh my goodness, I forgot to tell you. Yes, the stones. I look at Banner and I go, remind me to write that down. I need to write down the story of the Cinder King crown. Yes. So, and I proceed to tell you the story of the Cinder crown. You may do that just real quick, kind of quick read, or
Yeah.
long ago there was a king named Bran. He was a fair and just ruler who did as well as he could to protect and guide his people and his kingdom to peaceful expansion and growth. Oddly enough,
John's eyes glaze over.
he openly worshipped Al, the Old Father. Can you believe that? He openly worshipped Al.
Why is that
in
bad?
spite, well, of course, you know that most people Al does not really notice us.
To give you the quick version that I was told, Banner said the same thing, and what Brian told me was basically everybody knows that Ao is sort of like, he's not like a god that you worship. He sort of was just a catalyst that created the other gods, and the other gods created. It's not like he doesn't interact.
I know who he is.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Sorry. Well, that's what I said, and I got told I would know that it's not bad.
It's just an
So
oddity.
Yeah, most people that say they worship Al, you know this, Beetle, that they derided and ridiculed. Well, this was a king that worshipped Al openly, and yet a good king and a successful king. It is said he saw the good in all things, in all his people. He delighted in discovering each and every horizon and complimented Ao on his creativity and genius upon each new discovery. I would say he was almost like a childlike king, a king that every day awoke to wonder. I would have been a king I would have probably followed willingly and happily. But then came the dark times. First, a plague that tore through the kingdom like a black whirlwind, killing the old and the weak. Second, an invasion of a neighboring kingdom, bent on nothing but naked conquest. Al saw that the king's heart was breaking under the weight of such distress. His heart broke at his inability to help his people, but he still refused to ask Al of anything. He worshipped him, but he did not beg him for his help or anything. It's odd for a worshipper to do such a thing. And this continued for many years, 6 at least, until Al could no longer remain silent. He responded to the only man who had ever openly worshipped him, and the only one who had ever delighted in his creation without reservation or equivocation. When next King Brand prayed, Al's briefest thought touched him, a feather light flutter. My child, ever hast thou delighted in my creation. Never hast thou given rise to complaint or criticism. Ever hast thou avoided asking me not one thing. Neither question nor query of favor has ever crossed thy lips. Yet thy suffering has not gone unnoticed. This one time only will I ask of thee, what is it that thou wilt have of me? Well, apparently, Brand asked for help for his people. That's all. No, he asked, show me thy glory, that it shall be the crown of my days, whatever may come. He didn't ask for help. He didn't ask for a weapon to defeat his enemies. He didn't ask for cures for his people. He just wanted to see Al once, see Al's glory once. Al was moved by such compassion, such humility, and some say that he was angry by an insignificant man wishing to see his glory. Al's true purpose may never be known, but accounts agree on his response. He gifted King Brand a crown of gold and mithril, and in it were set 3 stones. Beetle. 3 stones that were supposedly the expressed thoughts of Al. His very thoughts. The love, the attention of the Allfather.
It's a nice story, but what does it have to do with Hell's Gate Keep?
The 3
Well-
stones. Oh, Banner's gonna be like, Velis.
I'm sorry. It's a wonderful story. I have a hard time. So, the 3 stones, supremely powerful things. Yes, thoughts of Al himself. Yeah. Veril says those are what are being used at these ritual points.
Oh.
She didn't want to tell everyone this.
I thought
I look
they
around the
made
room going,
pictures
oh,
of Al.
yes, that's right.
I
I
thought
look at the people that aren't in the protectors and I go, you need to forget everything I've just said.
As you do so, one of the soldiers is walking by and he goes, yes, sir. What?
I look at Banner and I go, should we kill them all?
Move along. I wave my.
You said nothing, sir.
I use message to make Kate growl at that guy really menacingly.
He like jumps and starts like clambering down the stairs and he goes, dog.
I go, damn it.
Let me see some identification.
Story, Banner. Why didn't you stop me? Oh,
I mean, I kind of wanted to see how far you'd take it, but it's probably from there at the end.
Okay,
All
one
right,
thing
but
though.
bringing this back
Full
to the
circle.
topic at hand, we have 3 places that we're supposed to deal with. We decided we're going to one of them and hiring people to deal with the other 2.
yes.
Has any of that been accomplished? Have we
Well, we have
hired
to go to
people?
Everland. Remember, we need to fly to Everland to do that.
No, we were sending people to
No,
Everland.
No, we're
We-
going there, and then
No,
we're
no,
hiring-
some of the people
to get to
Some
Hell's
of the
Gate.
people we want to send to another location are here, and I have some business I have to take care of here before we leave too.
But we were going to go to Everland to talk to the Harpers and to hire.
No, the Harpers are here.
Okay, I thought we were going to Everland.
Well, we're going to Everland, but the Harper. I need to talk to the Harpers here.
I think we should just go straight to Mithranor, but that's just me. That was a joke.
Pat Don on the back.
I know.
It's a joke.
Also, I'm a little confused about this Owl stuff because wasn't it originally we were supposed to get they needed the tears of Owl and now it's these stones of his thoughts and
Well, Veril seemed to think. Wait, I wasn't actually. Well, no, that was related. Banner will try and cut to the point here and say, basically, she thinks those are the only things that could possibly summon a tear of Owl. That's why.
okay,
He thinks
that's why they're being used.
Yes.
I guess that makes sense. Artifacts of Owl beget more artifacts of Owl. I buy that logic.
This all just sounds made up to me.
Most religion sounds made up to me too, but apparently gods are real. So
I mean, you get healed by one a lot.
Yeah.
that was a whisper to Dawn, by the way, because Emeraldi's standing right next to
Oh,
me.
okay.
Specifically talking about the tears and the tears and all that bull crap.
All right.
Well, here's what we need to do here. We need to talk to Yukon and Darren and Dane and Ross. And we need to see if they can head up one of these expeditions we want to send to one of the other 3 ritual sites. Because they're our B team.
And then we need to go to Everland to hire mercenaries for the 3rd.
Yes. And somewhere between here and Everland, we need to start hiring crew for our ship because
And stock it.
and stocking it. Everland's going to be better for stocking because they actually have supplies.
Yes, I don't think we can do that here.
No. And then I do need to touch base with the Harpers here. It's my understanding that the head honcho in this neck of the woods, it would be a suitable person for me to report to with this. And she tosses the priceless gnomish artifact in her hand and catches it.
So, general list of steps going forward. First, in terms of places we're going, where are we going next after we get everything done here?
Everland.
Everland. Okay. After we go to Everland, we talk to the people there that we need to. We send the people there to the other places we're going. Where do we go from there? Hell's Gate? Okay.
Well,
then we go to Hell's
it would
Gate.
be good if we were able to stop at Tribor to check on the mine.
I
Sure.
don't think we have. I don't know if we have time to do that right now.
Well,
Your mom's taking care of that, isn't she?
We can make that decision after we get to Everland, and we'll see
Okay.
how things are looking. But whether we have a way stop or not isn't as important. Hell's Gate. After that, we deal with that, assuming we all survive, or at least most of us. Then we continue on to Mithranor, assuming that the people we sent to do the other things are successful. I mean, we will be assuming that. We won't have any way to know, will we?
Not until we complete our task, unless one of us is able to learn some handy dandy new magic that will allow us to communicate long distance.
Well, if we're asking a wizard to go on these expeditions, might he not have that ability?
Actually, yeah. I'm
Maybe
not
we
sure.
can
I'll
work
have-
something out. It would be nice to know, at the very
Yeah.
least, if they actually did what we hoped they would, or if they all died along the way.
Yeah, I mean, Ross might know the sending spell. He could be point person if he does, and if he doesn't, maybe he could learn it. Maybe if we help him out with that.
And from Hell's Gates on to Mithranor.
Yes, that is the plan.
Okay. Just having it all out there is going to help us prepare for it all one step at a time.
So I have this errand that I have to run. Do we want to split up? I'll go run my errand, and you guys head over to.
Wasn't I going with you for that?
Yeah, you can come with me for that. But maybe we should split up to get all this done faster. Do you guys want to go?
What time of day is it, Brian? You never said.
It's late afternoon.
Okay. And we have not actually gained the benefits of our level up yet, right?
No,
Because
at the you gained the increase in hit points and the
Okay.
increase in spell slots, but you do not gain
What about the proficiency
features and
bonus?
spells.
Because that's already been auto-applied to all of our character sheets.
I'm sorry?
The proficiency bonus increase. It's already
Yeah,
been
yeah, that's
automatic.
fine.
Yeah, okay. It
I
just
don't mind. I'm gonna have to add it manually.
I'm just assuming that, but mainly the only thing you don't gain until you take a long rest is new class features and spells.
Julia, just tell the character sheet you gained a level in a different class. It won't change anything about the proficiency.
I can't
bonus.
even add. My sheet's all messed up. I'm gonna have to have someone look at it.
Well, never mind.
I don't know what's going on with it.
I can help you with multi-class then at some point if
Okay.
that's all you're going to do, because I've done that.
John wants to go with Beetle. Because Beetle.
I look at Emeraldi.
Actually, Don will go with Velis because he's probably going to get in trouble.
I look at Emerald and go, we can find someone where we can send a letter to tribe, see how things are going there. Let them know where we can maybe send a little money along with it to give them somewhat the ability to send us a message wherever we're at to let us know how things are going there. Pay out debts for the last. How much were we supposed to? How long have we gone, and how much do we owe?
We have to look at the contract.
Don't forget your mom was supposed to be looking into it too.
Yeah, I don't know if she's had time to get over there yet.
You've been gone
15 years.
about 3 months, 4 months.
Probably
Yeah.
4 at least, because 2 in the Feywild, and it took us about 2 months to travel
Yep,
down the coast.
about 4
too.
months. Yep.
Yeah.
And you guys did teleport from the coastal city there to Earthheart, so that was a shortcut. But yeah, about 4 months you've been gone.
Before we all break apart to go do the various tasks we have to get done before the end of the day, let me just, well, thank you all again for accommodating me and going to Mithranor so soon. It means a lot.
I'm just sorry we can't go sooner, Dawn. I'm excited to see it. I've read all about it.
Yes, well, hopefully it
Although
will
it is
be quite as
frightening, although-
interesting as the texts say it is.
Although it's frightening, but my curiosity, of course, as usual, gets the better of me. So, Emeraldy, shall we? Do you remember? Do you have the copy of the contract?
Wait. While you all are out, Velis, remember to look for someone who can heal you and Beetle's memory.
That's right. I was told that we can get our memories back if we can find a cleric of sufficient power.
I
We
turn to
can?
Emeraldy.
Yes. There's a there's a temple.
Cleric be able to do it? Or Dane?
What's that?
I get them mixed up. Which one's the cleric?
Also, mechanically, how does that work? Like what type of spell is that?
Greater restoration.
Yeah.
I could do that tomorrow.
I go. That was,
Tomorrow.
I was told that it is a spell. I don't know. It is similar to a spell that I've seen used before that heals like poisons and diseases and stuff like that, but a more powerful version of it.
Emeraldy, and I would assume Lycum knew this because of just his past and actually being able to do it before. Emeraldy, I've been struggling against this wall, and I feel like brick by brick, I'm slowly getting pieces out of, like, making way and getting through to a new area. Give me a little bit more time, and I might be able to help you guys.
I don't know what you're talking about. My memory's fine. I remember every day that I was there, especially that one special day.
I look at Emeraldy.
Emeraldy just gets
We don't
quiet
just-
for a couple minutes.
Maybe
Beetle-
something
actually,
better want to
Beetle-
remember.
What special day? What happened? Was there a party?
Maybe you guys are better off, actually.
I want to remember building tank
Yeah, but
and finding all that cool stuff you said I found.
I whisper in Beetle's ear what I'm talking about.
Wait, what were you talking?
I whisper what happened with Emeraldy. In her...
Oh, that's
I
even
look
worse
at-
than
I
I
look-
thought.
I look at the look on Beetle's face and I go, wait. And I count the group and I go, well, we're all here, so no one died.
Wait, you don't remember
Nobody that you
Varric?
remember.
Who,
Wait,
what?
You don't remember Varric?
I
Oh,
look
that's
at my
right, he
book.
joined us in the Feywild.
Oh yes, they must have no recollection of him at all.
Oh, that's a shame. He sacrificed himself for you.
Me?
I do remember, Velis, that you were supposed to buy me the next round.
Oh, well, of course, if I've made that promise, of course I
Beetle,
Honor
nope.
will.
He's fucking with you.
Wait a minute.
It's a dwarf prerogative to get as much beer as you possibly can.
All right. Well,
All right, let's go
I'll
find
be
the
back here in a couple hours.
fancy pants hoppers.
While
Why,
you guys are talking,
Emerald,
to,
you never tricked me like that. I rolled insight. You people are trying to trick me yourselves.
yeah, that's it. You're right. Sorry.
He's a paladin. He would never do that.
All right. So, when you guys talk to Dane and Derek, find out if one of them or anyone else they know might be able to fix our brains.
Well,
I believe Dane is a cleric as well. I just haven't been studying long enough yet to be of much assistance to fix memories.
Yeah, I know. That's Dane if he can do it.
You asked a question, I answered it.
all right, Emeraldy, you're a good cleric.
The best cleric we have.
Let's all leave
You
before
asked
we.
what the person's name was who was a cleric. I said it was Dane.
No, I said, ask Dane if he's able to fix what happened to us so that we can't remember the Feywild.
Oh, well, I mean, he has to ask Baranar if he can do that. But
Well, fine. Ask Dane if he can ask
Ask-
Baranar if he can fix our brain. We good?
Emeraldy shakes his head. Yeah, I mean, of course, but I've never thought there was anything wrong with your brains, really.
Can you ask?
Beetle, sometimes
I'm not
scraping
gonna-
the bottom of the ale barrel is some of the best and finest ale that you'll ever have. And that's what we have with Emeraldy right here.
Truer words,
Hey,
my
I'm still
friend.
waiting for you to have
Let me
beer
pass you on the knee.
in wolf form.
In a bowl.
Next time we're in that situation, I will gladly indulge with you, my friend.
Good. Just promise me you won't lick my face after.
No
No
problem.
guarantees. No guarantees.
Especially if you're not in wolf form.
All right, well, Banner, let's go. We'll see you guys in a couple hours.
Emeraldy, let's go find us a place where we can send a message.
Emeraldy goes, oh, here's the contract.
Excellent. So how much do we owe for full months?
I was looking for it and I got sidetracked. Hold on.
I don't even remember how much it was because it was like a quasi loan to own the land and then own the mine, and then we pay them back, but we're still owners.
Sounds like a mortgage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Part of that we got fucked.
I think it was along the lines of that we did definitely not have enough money to even put a dent on it.
At the time, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Gotta look that up.
But that's where we're going to use the potential profits of the mine to pay the mortgage of it when they recovered all that steel in there.
Wait,
If they could.
Did y'all go to that sketchy place on the corner that says that we will fund any mortgage possible, no credit needed? Is that what y'all did?
It was Doratha Shendro, the Knight Protector of Tribor that you made the deal with, and it was for 8,000 gold just for the mine. That did not include any salvaging operations for all of the ore that was in there when the mine collapsed. The understanding was that she would basically foot the bill for 25
Getting it started.
20, yeah, but she is also a part owner of it. She owns 10% of the mine. And so any income that the mine makes, she gets 10% of that.
So Faerun Shark Tank.
So
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
and that was the last time you spoke with Doratha.
Yep. And then there's this other page here with my mother's agreement that she's going to look into helping manage.
And as you're kind of are you kind of saying this out loud to the other group members?
Of course.
All right. So Beetle, of course, you make the connection that the Harpers own 10% of the Tribor mine now.
Which makes me very happy because that's a bargaining chip for me. Especially considering what I'm about to go ask of them. So. I just actually I clap a hand on who was it who just said that? Emeraldy?
Yeah.
So we owe
That is
8,000
good to
gold to
know.
own the mine.
I'm sorry?
8,000 gold to own the mine.
8,000, yes.
Okay.
which you owe Doratha at this point, and have not paid for nor have sent any messages to her, so you're not sure the status of the mine at this point, or whether or not you're still owners of it.
Oh, it's nothing we can't ever just go down there and kill her and take it. But if she doesn't honor our deal. But excellent. All right.
Wow, Bellis, that is probably the most brutal thing I've ever heard you say.
We definitely need to
Boys,
find a way to.
before you send any money, let me talk to my network. I might know people who could get that payment expedited for you if you need to make it quickly.
Are these like the people from like Waterdeep, or are these people that I'd asked
No,
you
these
to
are
introduce
other
me
people.
to?
These are other people.
Are these the ones I'd asked you to introduce me to before?
Maybe.
I don't like maybe, but
Well, first, Velis and I have to decide how much we are going to pay. What we can pay. We should pay something.
yeah, I look at Emerald and I say, well, my friend, let us let Beetle speak to these friends and see what she can come up with, and then we can, if maybe we won't have to spend as much as we thought.
Well, I mean, we definitely have to spend as much as we have to. We have to pay this debt off in order to own the mine. So it's
That
not
is true, but sometimes people offer discounts to heroes, so maybe our actions could reduce the costs somewhat.
Of which you already agreed to pay. Good luck with that, pal. Come on, Banner, let's go.
Yeah, Emerald is shaking the contract. A contract is a contract is a contract, especially if it's a dwarven contract.
Beetle won't say that she grew up in a merchant family and that that's never gonna fly, but she just likes yep, good luck with that. Let's go.
What we have done, Velis, is expedited our potential salvage costs because we're talking with my mother. She was going to send miners from Earthheart to help expedite the process, therefore possibly reducing the cost beyond 8,000 to recoup our profits. Or
Out of character, quick question.
Hmm?
Did we ever make a final decision on what to do with the remaining Gith in the city? Are we letting them slink away?
You would recall a conversation with Elsbeth the Red, and Elsbeth the Red, and as well as Taryn Hornblade, was maybe not happy with that, but content with letting them go.
Okay. I recall Dawn not being too happy with that, but whatever. She's going to Mr. Norm, so that's all she cares.
I feel like we asked for what do you call it? My brain is not working right now because I didn't sleep. But conditions. Didn't we ask for information?
What?
I felt like we asked if the Gith were going to be allowed to leave with their lives.
I think we asked and they said that it. I got my memory of that conversation was it didn't seem like they were interested in throwing their citizens at them anymore, and at that I didn't.
No, I understand that, but we said we're going to let them go no matter what. But we might as well try to get more out of it on our side. So.
Oh yeah, they were gonna try and make a better deal for themselves with them to let them go. I think they were they were definitely gonna. Someone was going to. I remember that now. Someone was gonna go and try and get more out of the Gith before they leave.
Yeah, but I think we specifically asked their higher ups for more information about what Marissa was up to and what he was up to.
Yeah,
I could be that investigator. I would be quite happy with that job.
I'm okay with
recently acquired a new ability that would be very useful in such a
have you?
mission. I have.
Have you slept yet?
No, I can't access it at the moment, but I feel like I'm very close to being able to access it.
Also,
that wasn't meta at all.
Don't Dawn's abilities just sort of appear?
Well, it's less meta for Dawn because that's how they work. They just one day she wakes up and she can do something new and she doesn't really know why.
All right.
Whereas Lycom's the opposite. He's constantly working hard against things and oh, I can actually do this again.
Dawn's the kid in school who never really studies but still somehow is getting good grades and she's not sure why.
Dawn is me when I was 16.
All right. You would recall also in an effort to get information, that the gift did blah, 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 blah. Let me try that one again. The gift did let slip the fact that they were only serving Marissa basically for a base of operations on the prime material plane, because without it, none of their young mature.
Right. But what Beetle's specifically hoping is that the officers among the Gith and the highest ranking might have spent enough time with Marissa that they might have overheard things that would be useful for us to know. And I'm saying we should make sure that that is not the case before we assume it is not. And if we can make that a condition of them being able to leave without further bloodshed, then we should.
Okay.
How many ships do we know of that got away, that went to other places?
There were 15 airships that departed Silverymoon once the conquest of Silverymoon seemed certain.
And how many were there here when we got here? 5 or 4?
5.
So there's 10 left.
There's 15 that departed Silverymoon.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
And then there was 5 left behind.
Okay.
So the fleet was a total of 20 ships, which is no small fleet.
Total now is 16 is what you're asking, because we got away from the 5.
We appropriated one of them.
Yeah, and blew up 2.
Oh, boys, one thing, just so that in case I need to do a little negotiating on your behalf, what do you owe right now in back pay on the last couple months of the mine? There was no set monthly amount?
Well, Emeraldi Velis, you would recall that Shendratha was going to get you line up possible work crews to begin working on the mine. And, because you guys have been moving around so much or whatever, no communication was forthcoming. To be fair, she had no idea where you guys were going, so.
Right. Neither did we, apparently.
So, as far as you're aware of, unless Emeraldi's mother sent miners down and they have reached Tribor at this point, no work on the mine has been done.
Well, I'll tell you what, boys, write a letter to your business partner, and I will see that it is delivered, at the very least. And if you want to send some money along, just give it to me, and I will send it on its way. I can guarantee you it'll get faster. It'll get there faster. Through this network than it will be through just picking a random messenger.
Yeah, I look around where are we now? Are we still amongst all these people, or are we?
Yeah,
all these other people are.
Yeah, you're still at the city jail, just kind of talking openly. Soldiers are kind of glancing your way as they walk by. One little boy seems to be leaning against the door, looking at you all with wide eyes. The group of individuals, the protectors, that almost single-handedly saved the city, hanging on every word and yet not understanding any, very much of what you're saying, because he's like 8 years old, approximately.
I want to make an inside check on the boy.
Okay.
In case he's a spy for our enemy. I don't know who the enemy would be in this case.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm sure we have some somewhere.
You kind of give him this sidelong look. You kind of squint his way, and you're like, "Nah, he's fine."
Okay.
And when you do, the boy's like looking around, like, "Me?"
And I just look away.
I wink at the kid, making him think that we were checking him out and being like, "Yeah, that kid's cool."
He like grins like ear to ear. He
I
pulls
cast
out
magic
this.
static
He
on the
pulls
boy.
out this little figurine, this little wooden figurine, and at first you didn't. You kind of glance. Oh, it's a little figurine. Oh, it looks like Velis. He pulls out another little wooden figurine, and you see Lycum, as a dire wolf there, and he's like, "Rawr," and he's like, and so he's having a battle royale, an imaginary battle royale between
As-
Lycum and Velis now.
Oh,
As
you're
he
gonna
does
steal my
that,
idea.
Beetle pulls out one of the action figures she's been working on that Velis asked me to make, and it's Beetle riding tank. And and I use my invisible mage hand to like puppeteer it over to him.
Dawn rolls her eyes at all this.
His eyes get really big, and he kind of
This
looks
is-
at his little 2 wooden miniatures. He drops them, and he's like grabbing them. He goes, "Cool!" And he runs. He goes, "Mom, look what I got! Look what I got!"
I
I
take
turn
out,
to Don and I
I take out a few pieces of paper and some dice.
I turn to Don and I say, "We've been talking about banking for the last 20 minutes, and this is when you roll your eyes."
Is that what you all were talking about? I wasn't really listening.
Well, that makes 2 of us.
Well, Velis, we should at least write the letter and send at least minimum 10%.
All right, you all have fun with
Yeah,
this. I'm gonna
well,
go find something.
if we've got 10%, we can save. That would be what,
Maybe.
800 gold?
Don just turns
Or more, at least 1,800, at least 10%.
Boys, if you want to use, I was gonna pay us after we buy supplies.
Protectors. We've got mine owners. We got an accountant.
As Don walks away, I pull her aside
How much accrued paid time off do we have?
and I say, I pull her aside and I say, "You know something I just realized?
What's that?
Everyone's very distracted right now. And when you fell down in the city, those guys on that other ship, they blew the hell out of the sky. I'm wondering if we can find 1 to 2 other people who might be willing to pop over to where the Gith are with you and I and start a little fire before we leave."
Jesus.
Now, are we talking about scaring them? Are we talking about gathering more information, or are we just talking?
I'm talking about taking
making
10 of
sure-
those barrels, leaving them there, and blowing shit up.
Count me in. Besides, we might find something useful. Who knows what they have over there? Also, there were a few airships that crashed in the city, weren't there? Or nearby that blew up over the
Yeah,
city?
I think they already salvaged those because they gave us the 2 extra crystals from that one. Remember?
Oh, okay. Was that the only one that crashed nearby? Because I was thinking if there were more, we might want to look at the wreckage and see if we can gather 1 or 2 more of the crystals.
The one was blown to smithereens. Yours crashed. The other one was what I was saying. Those guys are insane. They blew the thing like to pieces. It was ash.
Yeah, do we really need anyone else? I feel like you and I.
Eh,
I mean, if it's just you and I, if things get a little dicey, I can just get us out of there.
I'm not that sneaky though.
Well, we don't have to be sneaky. I can get us in there, like.
That's true. I mean, if you want to do it just us, I'm fine with that. I can tell Beetle all this bank talk bored me, and I can just go with you.
Let's do it.
Yes, let
I'm
Beetle
ta-
go alone after someone tried to assassinate her
Well,
yesterday.
I'm
Yeah,
tapped
great
out
idea.
right now, but in the morning.
You have like him.
Yeah, I was gonna say Lycan would be your guard dog would be right there.
I'm tapped out right now, but in the morning.
All right, I'll stick with Beetle. I think we all should. But
Yeah.
maybe you and I get up early.
All right. I'll see you an hour before sunrise.
All right. I like this plan.
Oh,
Do I
Velis,
happen to
let's
see
go-
any of this happening by chance?
No, I walked away. I mean, you.
Can
let
I
me turn the
see-
corner?
Can I see your lips move? Okay, if you turn a corner, then it's fine. But if
I know
if
you
I
can
can-
see my freaking.
Pull her
Yeah.
aside. We know you. I said I pulled her aside. That means aside from like him.
Perfect.
That's
Okay.
what that means.
Yep.
Yes, major project a one-way mirror pointing at them.
As long as I can't see your lips, you're good.
Wait, that raises an interesting question. Can
Actually, I don't think we
make
know
an
that you could
illusion
read lips,
of a mirror that shows a reflection?
Huh?
major image. Can I make an illusion of a mirror that would show a reflection with major image?
I don't see why not.
I don't know.
That's crazy. That's like,
Maybe.
but like light doesn't actually hit it. Whatever. Okay, so it's magic. You can't do it. It's an interesting physics question.
Stop
But-
physicsing magic.
For another time.
All
All right, I
right.
go with Beetle then.
I wait until they write the note in a little sack. I take a little sack and I we were talking before. I was gonna say if you guys want to put in some of your personal funds, I can put in some of what I was gonna pay you once we finish supplying and crewing up in Everland.
I don't have very much on me.
Oh, not you, just Velis and Emeraldy. So they're mine.
Emerald says I was going to kick in 650 gold piece, and then Velis, how much you were going to kick in?
750. I can afford 750.
Oh, well, you guys are fine.
Okay. So Emerald hands over the pouch.
Well, that's
and-
gonna be a chest, not a pouch, but
Yeah, mine's in platinum, but so 150 platinum.
okay. So Beetle will procure a chest from the quartermaster.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of chest crates, little
And,
strong boxes.
And she will plunk the chest into into Tank's chest cavity.
Okay.
Let him be her farrier, porter, whatever.
All right.
All right, and she takes their note, and after everybody leaves, she scribbles her own little note and adds it to it. Because this is the first she's heard that the Lady Protector is the part owner of the mine, and Beetle thinks that's hilarious.
Bellis
Right.
was getting a little irritated with Beetle for not introducing him to the Harpers yet.
I'm on it. It's literally on my to-do list for this mission.
All right. So
He's
you
debating whether or not actually the friend she says she is.
Well, Velis Emerald kind of claps his hands. I'm just getting very thirsty. Might need to go find something to drink.
You guys are going to talk to Yukon and Dane and Derek and Ross.
Which you can involve.
to your
drinking,
job.
because they're dwarves and they're light.
I was going to say, do you think they're not at the
All right, well, let's go, Velis. Maybe I got a bottle somewhere or something.
and
I look at. Go ahead.
go ahead.
I look at Emerald and go, well, I go, I have been giving out samples of the knee knocker I had. I had 5 bottles in my bag, and I've only got 1 left. I've been giving out samples so that there would be a base of desire for it here in Silverymoon soon.
All right.
Well,
Before,
what are
Beetle,
you doing?
Bottle left.
before Beetle leads, she turns
Let's
to
drink
Velis
it.
and she says, "Now, your motivation for talking to this group that we're trying to talk into going somewhere incredibly dangerous after they've just been through hell for months is you're talking very nice people who just been through hell for months into doing something awful to save the world."
Okay, I think I know what you're saying. You're saying, let's not open the bottle now. Let's open it later with them and share it with them.
Yes.
But I get the first swig.
Beetle looks genuinely impressed with Emeraldy.
Oh, you guys. I love you guys. They're gonna have lifelong PTSD, but hey, let's send them into the jaws of. Anyway.
Let's go, Velis.
All right, and with that, Emeraldy and Velis depart, as well as anybody going with Emeraldy and Velis?
I think Dawn said she was gonna, right? Are you gonna go try to interrogate Yankee?
Who's going with Beetle?
Like him
Like him.
Where's Banner going?
with
Oh, I
you.
was going with Beetle. I thought because we were meeting in the morning. before
Yeah,
dawn.
so Beetle Banner and Lycum are going now to where they're going.
I'm gonna stay with Beetle just because I don't want anyone to assassinate her.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay.
We're
In
gonna go
that
drink
case,
with dwarves.
while Emeraldi and Velis depart, and you can't help but see a little bit of a very happy gleam in both their eyes as they talk about all the ale that they're about to consume as they depart for the Hammer and Helm. But for now, we will leave them and stay with the rest of the group as being led by Beetle's expertise. You quickly find yourselves outside of the bright blade brandished. Say that real fast 3 times.
Right as we arrive, or as we're walking on the way, who's Beetle's mentor name? That dude? That
Ross.
Ross is a crow, or what was it? I don't remember what I changed.
It was a
Raven?
Yeah, Raven.
I look over at Beetle first, and I'm like, would it be all right? I don't know these people. I would prefer to be in an animal shape, but would it be all right if I was something a little bit smaller and a little bit more conspicuous while meeting with these people? Or
Yeah,
would they
actually, I was going to leave you guys outside, but if you would like to be Snoopy and you swear on my life never to reveal anything that you hear in that room, I'll let you come in with me.
Would a raven be all right?
Yep, we'll pretend you're my familiar.
All right. And so I change into the Ross's raven, so she sees and knows that it was actually me, and I land on her shoulder.
Okay.
Fog, meanwhile, is making a sad face somewhere.
He is making a sad face somewhere.
Where is Cog?
I'm gonna send Cog with everybody else just to keep an eye on them and for him to come get me if anything like.
Okay, so he's with Emeraldi and Velis?
Yeah, I'm gonna send him with them.
Emeraldi and Velis, you guys don't see Cog as he's, just kind of silently gliding above you, tracking your progress. Outside of the bright blade brandished, the tavern is surprisingly untouched. And even more so, it seems like it's doing well as soft music wafts from the inside. As you step into the tavern, Beetle, you know that this place is favored by adventurers, and as you step inside, you easily see why. The tavern is luxuriously furnished and kept by folk that seem to be friendly to everyone as they're going from table to table, no matter how uncouth or unwashed or strange or dangerous looking or badly wounded you are. You know the history of the bright blade brandished is you can come here and always get some basic supplies, some basic healing, some help, get on your feet, even the basic kind of gruel if you have no money and down on your luck. Such is the kindness of the proprietor. The proprietor is none other than Tila Kogelsnog, excuse me, and I will put that in chat because that's a weird one. A motherly, elderly gnome that just quietly seems to glide from table to table as she speaks to each person in a soft motherly voice. "Oh, how are you today, dear? You're doing very well. Oh, it's so good. I'm so glad you made it here. Please, feel right at home." And as she's, going about her business, you also see some other things that's quite interesting. Tables that are being served by plates wafting through the air of their own, along with various steins of floating ale as they quietly and gently land on tables by customers. As you realize that by some magical means, service is being provided directly from the kitchen. You look up and you see indeed standing just to the right of the doorway to the kitchen is a kindly looking old man, a mage, and he's kind of almost like he's directing a symphony with his hands as he performs the somatic components of whatever spell that he's doing, and it's more of an enchantment, really, as it's being maintained by him. And as you start to look away, you do notice a small bead of sweat kind of coming down his brow, and you realize that this is probably a really difficult job. But hey, you wonder idly, perhaps, how much he gets paid for that. That's kind of cool.
It's kind of cool.
Off in the corner, a square table set. You see a actually make a perception check.
Okay.
All right. You actually okay. So you're looking around for your contact. You don't necessarily see your contact. You do remember that the name of your contact was
Laryl.
yes, Laryl Silverhand. A fairly well-known name, in spite of the fact that she is a member of the Harpers. You know her for the sister of the dearly departed Lady Illustrial.
I'm gonna use message and whisper to Lycum on my shoulder the description of this person I've been given, because I don't think I've ever actually met her, but I'm sure I've been giving a description.
Right.
Brian.
And you do describe her as I'm sorry, what were you gonna say?
I just had a quick question of clarification. When we last talked, because I said Banner wanted to let them know that he didn't need their deal anymore and stuff. Did you say we had the same contact here with the Harpers?
Well, you would. I don't think you've been to Silverymoon that much.
Okay, I just wasn't sure.
So I guess technically you would have the same contact, but I don't know if Banner would actually know who that is.
Okay.
Also, Brian, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Question?
I forgot to tell you, all of my rolls that use my proficiency, not that it's going to matter on this perception roll because it's only a 9, but my proficiency bonus is screwed up on my sheet. It's not loading for level 9, so anything I'm proficient in is going to be a +1 to what I actually roll.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Good to know. Yeah, I'll if Matt doesn't get you squared away, let me know and I'll take a shot at it.
Okay.
Lycum, Beetle describes a short let me rephrase that. A woman of athletic build and short raven hair, glittering blue eyes, and has a penchant for carrying two rapiers on either side of her hips. And you do see one such of a person, kind of lounging. As you look at her at first glance, it seems like she's just kind of lazily lounging. She's got a shapely leg over one of the arms of her chair, and she's just got nursing a stein of ale, and seems to be idly kind of flicking a gold piece up in the air and then catching it with one hand and flicking it and catching it.
I flutter over to the correct side of correct shoulder of hers, and I grab her ear and pull until she's on her ear, and like pull her so that she's facing the direction that she's.
Oh, thanks.
You Beetle, having had your ear so roughly tugged, you definitely see her. Perhaps not what you were expecting.
All right. Do I think she would have had a description of me, or would she have no idea who I am when I present myself?
I would imagine if you did any business in Silverymoon that you know each other to a certain degree, at least professionally.
Yeah, I've been here quite a bit, so. All right then. So I'm gonna walk over and pull up a chair next to her.
As you walk over, her eyes kind of trace your movements. As you sit down, she just keeps flicking her gold piece, doesn't say anything.
I take out the orb and I start flicking that in my hand and catching it with my mage hand. Flip.
The gold piece goes up in the air and then just drops on the table. She sighs and sits down the side, leans forward. She goes, "You do realize this is the first moment of relative comfort I've had in about 3 months."
I know, and I'm very sorry to muck it up with business, but I'm leaving tomorrow, so time is money.
She arches a fine eyebrow and says, "Tomorrow? And where are you heading now?"
Everlund, and then someplace really awful, and then Mithranor.
Everland. Well, Beetle, you notice the orb is rolling across the table, seemingly of its own accord.
Is it going towards her?
Yep.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm turning it into her.
And she just lowers a hand that was previously flicking a gold piece and opens a pouch, and it just drops right in.
Yep.
Well, it seems the Harpers owe you a debt of gratitude.
Took me a little longer than I was expecting, to be honest, but I had some other business that was distressingly urgent.
I am happy that you were able to get it back. It's, well, best not to leave it in her hands. And her, speaking of which... Oh, good. Saves me the trouble.
Yep.
Well then, I suppose you'll be wanting something for your troubles.
I will.
That's Banner in the background, reminding Beetle.
her eyes shift to you, Banner, and then shifts back to Beetle, and he goes, "He's a strapping one."
Yeah. You know, I met him when he was freelancing for us, and he's a good guy.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
She kind of gives you a mischievous smile.
Oh, he's taken. Sorry. Not by me, but by someone you really don't want to mess with, because I sure as hell don't.
Well, I could have used a diversion or two, but I guess I'll have to find it elsewhere.
About that compensation.
Yes. About that compensation.
I'm listening.
No? You seem very content to talk. I'll let you.
Well, I do have some other business as well.
I'm listening.
But I thought we would conclude this before we bring up the rest.
Well, I do know that they were expecting you in Everland, but I will communicate to them. Jess has been eagerly awaiting your return, and the orb. I believe it was her intention to... Oh, fine then. She pulls out a pendant on a black leather cord and places it there, and pushes it across the table at you. Let me find it here. You recognize this as the symbol of the rank of Harp Shadow. And she says, "Give me your pin."
I take it off from the inside of my coat where I keep it, and I hand it over to her with my hand closed and drop it in her palm.
And in return, she slides another pin your way that mirrors the design of the harp shadow, which is kind of like this wall, and there's a harp, and then a very in the right light, it looks like the harp is casting a shadow on the wall. Along the outside edges of the amulet, as well as the pin, is a inscription. It's in it's in Elvish. Do you read Elvish?
I think I do, but let me check. Nope.
Okay. Like you do, and you recognize what it says. It simply says, "From the shadows we watch and wait."
Which is ironic because
No one knows you're a person.
Yes.
Except
exactly.
Exactly. And further, she pulls out a small little strong box about the size of her foot. It's about a 4 to 6 inches in width and about a foot long, which is oddly it kind of looks funny as she pulls it out because her pouch is maybe the size of her fist. And she's like opening the mouth of the pouch, kind of stretching it, and she goes, "I knew I shouldn't have put it in here." And she's like wrestling it out and sliding it out a little bit at a time before it kind of finally comes out. And she goes, places it on the table in front of her, and she goes, "And for your service, though as hoppers we don't do necessarily this for pay, this was so important, well, we felt it was warranted." Flipping open the lid, you see that it's full of 2,000 gold pieces.
Beetle, like her eyebrow, she does not have a poker face. Like she's very surprised. Oh, we'll certainly put that to good use. Thank you. I wasn't expecting that.
So, as usual, there's always things that must be done. Are you interested in taking on another side job?
I'm not sure I'll be able to do one anywhere in the near future unless it's at Mithra Nor. So
She looks puzzled. Mithra Nor.
I have to help a friend. You know, after we save the world again.
You want to be careful there. Very, very careful.
Yes.
Many bumbling adventurers have attempted to plunder the ruins of Mithra Nor. Those that come back, if they come back, well, rumor has it, and she kind of smirks a little bit, because you know it's more of a rumor, more than a rumor, that they are quite mad.
Well, we're not going to plunder it. We just need some information that we'll only find there.
Well, there are 2 cities there, as you well know. There's Mithra Nor, and then, of course, the Netheril City, Netherese City. Most of which is on the ground. I heard parts of it yet float after the spell plague had passed. Again, rumor has it that some of the magic that kept those cities aloft returned. I have not been there myself, mind you, but now that I think about it, it would be kind of interesting to see. In its own way, a kind of savage beauty, perhaps. But
You want to come?
sadly, I have a funeral to attend.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, well, she
Well,
was
too many of
always
those.
a little too ambitious for her own good. But I will miss her, as will all her sisters and sons and daughters. Thus the ale, and she leans back in her chair once again, and she regards you with kind of nearly closed eyes, as if, wondering, weighing, and measuring. Well, good luck.
We'll probably need it, so thank you.
Oh, yes, you had something else to talk about.
I did. It seems that my idiot friends have reneged on their loan payments on a mine that our friends are 10% owners of and are in current control in.
Oh, you're talking about the Tribor mine.
Yeah. Yeah, two of the protectors, my pals, own that.
Daratha was quite pleased, as you can
Oh,
imagine.
I'm sure she would. Said idiots didn't tell me in today that she was their business partner. They have no idea who she is.
Well, she thinks for a moment. The best I can do is send a letter to Daratha informing her that said idiots are alive and well, and that the Hoppers do not yet own the mine.
If you would, add this to your letter, and she pulls out the chest of gold from... I guess we're just trading today, as I take out the chest of gold from Take. and their letter and my little note that's pinned to the outside of their letter, and I just kind of hand it all over to her.
She just kind of regards it with this little bit of a, she goes, well, this has gotten needlessly complicated now, hasn't it?
I know. I'm sorry. It's just you guys will get it to where it needs to be faster than we will with where we're headed.
Her eyes shift. Banner, you notice she's staring at someone behind you. And from behind you, this mountain of a man, the floorboards actually creak under his weight. And he was so quiet, you did not hear him approach. And he almost startles you as he kind of thumps past a big half-orc. And she just kind of wiggles her fingers at the chest on the table now. And he kind of grunts and just, with one massive hand, picks it up and starts walking away. You notice that he's got a couple of very vicious looking maces bound to his waist as well. And he is, his arms and his forearms, even his face is just covered with a mass of scars. He does not look very pretty at all. And he just kind of grunts as he passes and walks off. You hear a couple of customers behind you kind of scurry out of the side, and one guy says, "Hey, why don't you watch it?" Yeah, sorry, sir, he says as he passes. Excuse me. Laurel looks at you, Beetle. She goes, well, I will make sure the letter gets where it needs, and, well, the money may take a little longer to get there, but it will.
Yeah, you guys will get there faster than we will again. Oh, and on a related note, one of those owners in the mine is actually very interested in joining our friends and would, I think, make a fine addition. And, he's going to be really rich someday, so that's always good too.
She kind of smiles. She goes, I know the idiot friend that you speak of. Let me ask you this, Beetle, and you must be honest.
Okay.
Would the Harpers truly be interested in a bard as well as as you say, an idiot into our ranks?
Oh, I'm just calling them idiots because they don't have the best business sense in the world.
She kind of stifles a laugh. She goes,
I'm my father's daughter.
sorry, I couldn't resist.
I come from merchant stock.
I couldn't resist. It's
I
been a
know.
long few months.
Velis is one of the most learned people that I know. He's quite intelligent and he's pure of heart. I think he would be a good addition.
All I can say is he is known to us, as are all the protectors. Your movements, well, most of your movements, have been well recorded and tracked. I will say, Barry was quite upset at your sudden departure, but then again, he's upset at everything. He said something to the effect of, she didn't even say goodbye, and she tries to, approximate Barry's voice, and then she kind of, oh, that's horrible.
I left him a very funny note.
Yeah, well, you know how Barry is.
I know.
He's odd.
I love Barry.
Even
He's a
for us,
weirdo.
he's odd.
I still think he's a silver dragon.
Honestly, none of the Harpers know what he is. We're not even sure he's a gnome.
My
So-
money's on silver dragon.
She kind of shrugs. She doesn't know what to say to that. No promises, but you may let Velis know that his desires are noted.
Okay. And if it is so decided, I'm happy to take him under my wing and take responsibility for him.
Fair enough. So, in other words, you're speaking for him.
I am.
I'll let everyone know. Is there anything else, or may I please go back to my gold coin and my ale?
Well, I was going to ask the Harper's aid in dealing with our current problem, but actually you've kind of already given me what I need, I say as I hold up the coffer she gave me.
Oh, good. My ale's starting to get warm, you know.
But I do feel like maybe I should debrief you on what we're doing in private. You could bring the ale. If we fail, the Harpers may need to step in. Not that I think we will, but I mean, the end of the world and all.
Fair enough. I suppose that one more conversation wouldn't hurt. Are all your friends coming? And she looks at Lycum perched.
I trust them implicitly. If it's all right with you, it's all right with me. They know everything I'm going to tell you.
Very well. She gets up and she makes her way across the not far. It's just a door, almost just across the room on opposite to where she was sitting, about maybe 10 feet away. And she opens the door, and you suddenly find yourselves going through the kitchen. Banner, what are you doing at this point? Are you following?
I guess if Beetle waves us in.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't really within earshot.
All right.
I guess.
I'm with Banner.
Necessarily.
A harried-looking a couple of harried-looking cooks look up. One a very rotund, kind of plain-faced brunette looks up and she goes, "Oh, right." She kind of slaps the other cook behind her head, and she goes, and the other cook says, "What are you?" And then she sees Laurel there, and she goes, "Oh." And she goes over to what ostensibly is the larder and opens the door. And as she opens the door, you walk in, and the larder, and as you step through the door, the larder is no longer a larder. You are in a room that's featureless, a stone room with a single door that you just walked through. As you all walk through, Laurel just kind of kicks the door closed with a thump, and she closes her eyes a moment, and you see kind of this arcane flash around the confines of the room. And she says, "So, next steps."
We don't have to roleplay this, but I'm basically just going to tell her everything that we've learned because I want the Harpers to know all of it.
Okay.
About the rituals and what we learned about what Marissa was doing, about the threat of Melander, about the stuff about the artifacts of Al.
Right.
The Harpers should know these things.
Yeah, and you take about 30 minutes to detail this. And her ale, is still held in her hand, is quickly forgotten as she doesn't look surprised or anything. She has a very good poker face, it appears. Probably a good thing in her profession. And as you finish your tale, she just kind of looks like she's digesting it all, and she goes, Well,
I know, right?
then, and you tell her about Hellgate Keep as well?
Yeah.
She says,
She might know something about it that could help us.
Well, my sister and her group, years and years ago, did go to Hellgate Keep when it was a thing. It's hard to explain, but the short of it is there was a gate to hell thanks to a idiot mage, and then more idiot wizards, really very powerful wizards. It wasn't always Hellgate Keep. It was once an elven city. I don't remember the name of it, but it was an elven city, and after the very first time, thousands of years ago, though, in the city of all the cities of the Netherese began to fall out of the sky, except for one, of course, the one that escaped into the Shadowfell. The elves there took pity on the refugees, took them in, and over the course of a few hundred years, the city became and was handed over to the humans, the descendants of these Netherese wizards, and it became known as the City of Magic. Well, unfortunately, I'm not a historian, a student of history, but I know that the Netherese magic was outlawed on pain of death. Unfortunately, there's plenty of other ways that wizards vying for power over the course of a few hundred years can start trouble, and what do you know, they did. So one, it began with one, I forget his name, it was something the Ambitious, I don't know. But he summoned a Batazoo, and the Batazoo was helping him. And then other wizards caught wind of it and thought, hey, I need to compete, and so more Batazoo was summoned. Long story short, the Batazoo turned on the wizards, no surprise there. a gate to hell, a permanent gate to hell was forged, and the refugees and the wizards that were managed to escape. Well, there was a specific bard. I think this is how it happened. I don't know, but a bard rechristened it Hellgate Keep, and that's how it became Hellgate Keep. Well, Lady Alestriel and a few other wizards managed to put a ward around Hellgate Keep to keep the demons there. And they managed to, and again, I may be slightly wrong on my details, but they managed to seal the portal to hell. The boss there, the king, the duke, the arch, whatever, the demon there, the big bad there, he, in an effort to grow his army, would entice or capture passerby, orcs and the like, and forcibly mate them with the demons that were there, causing, demonic offsprings, tieflings and the sort, who were subservient and not bound by the ward, and so he would send them out on raids. And long story short, Alestriel and her group found a way to kill them. I don't know why, or not why, but I don't know how. It was a long time ago. All I know is Lady Alestriel and one other person was the only one to leave that place alive. If there is truly a ritual going on, once again, in the ruins of Hellgate Keep, well, if I were a deviant, evil-minded wizard or group of wizards, the very first thing that I would do is reopen the portal.
Great.
I don't know if that's actually the case, but, I would imagine that the big bad wants to come back to what he would consider his kingdom. And,
Given Marissa's ties to the Abyss, that wouldn't surprise me at all.
yes, well, anyway, so, that's basically all I know. Of course, again, I'm not a student of history, and it was 1,000 years or so. Well, it's probably closer to 2,000 years ago now.
No, it's good to know. Thank you. Every bit of lore we can scrape up about that place before we get there helps.
Well, it's good to know being a chosen of Mystra isn't worthless. Or should I say, anyway, scratch that. Never mind.
Now, just so you know, the plan is we're going to Hell's Gate Keep. We're trying to talk some other very capable people we know who are still here, who survived the resistance, into going to the Luskin location, and we're basically just going to have to hire adventurers to go deal with the other one. If there's any aid the Harpers can give, or any agents you can assign to help the people we're sending, be appreciated.
Well, we do have another freelancer, much like him, and she kind of wiggles her finger at Banner. Not nearly as good smelling, though. His name is Derek. Kind of a nasty... Ugh. Well, he's a dwarf. And...
The Paladin?
A very angry dwarf.
Yeah, we've met him. Well, we've smelled of him.
We know him. He's one of the people we're asking to go.
Well, he's helping with cleanup operations and a few other odds and ends, but I'm sure that being the mercenary he is, he'd be more than willing to help out for the right price, of course. And the Harpers would strongly, or could strongly, encourage Derek to help out, and we would chip in by continuing, of course, his ongoing stipend.
That'd be great. How much should I offer him?
Well, it sounds like a dangerous job, so I would be generous.
Okay.
A couple hundred at least.
Okay,
Gold, that is, not silver.
of course.
Or platinum. That's way too much.
Speaking of freelancers, I just wanted to let you know I tagged along today just to tell you that I'm out. And I hand her the coin that I showed Beetle when we first met. I don't really need you anymore.
She takes
I
the
saw
coin and,
no problem.
kind of... She has this kind of like half smirk on her face. She goes, well, given your sentiment, the feeling is mutual.
He's got enough to deal with.
I am glad that things worked out, apparently.
I'll keep an eye on her, though.
Your weapon there is a veritable beacon.
Whatever that means.
Yes.
His consort gave it to him.
What does...
Wait, or are you the consort? How does that work? Are you both consorts?
Banner blushes and is like strangely silent and just kind of backs up in the corner.
It gives me a mental image of kind of Banner, toe in the dirt, kind of moving dirt around and looking down, not sure what to say.
Yeah, he gets flushed and just kind of like takes a step back and like looks at the ground.
Very well. So, I don't know what any of that means, and honestly, I don't care. But, is there anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Right. She closes her eyes a minute, and the arcane flash around the boundaries of the room occurs again as the door, seemingly of its own volition, opens back up into the kitchen. And she goes, well then, I gotta get a fresh and cold ale. See yourselves out.
Yep.
She nods at you, walks out, and just as she's like walking behind the cooks, who clearly didn't hear them as they were yelling out, order up, she loudly yells, give me another ale, and both of the cooks like jump almost straight up a couple of feet and then scowl at her. She kind of snickers and walks back to her table.
So she's one of Illustrial's daughters?
Sister, I thought.
Sister.
Oh, sister. Okay.
Yes.
And she's also a chosen of Mistra? That's what she's inferred.
Don't know.
That's what she inferred pretty clearly.
She tried to cover it up.
Well.
Yeah, you don't know. It's news to you.
Okay.
Make of it what you want. As you guys exit, or do you guys exit the tavern? Okay. As you guys exit the tavern, across the way, across the city, on the other side of the city, Emeraldi and Velis, you find the hammer and helm. Velis, you know that this is a place that typically only dwarves are really welcome here. It's a low ceilinged building by necessity. And Velis, you actually have to kind of crouch to get to the door, which is a little misleading because as you step in, the ceilings are of a normal height. And you see, surprisingly, not just dwarves there, as you see Derek and Dane crowded on one side of a circular table and completely dominating the other side of the circular table on a chair, actually a stool that's much too small for him, so small that his knees are almost up to his chin, is the massive Yukon. as he's got about 3 ales in front of him, and he's like double fisting steins. And Emerald, you hear Darren saying, "I bet you can drink that faster, Yukon." And Yukon says, "Challenge accepted." And he just, and he kind of shakes his massive head. He goes, "Well, that does have a kick." And about that time, Dane sees you all approaching, and he goes, "Huh, looks like Emeraldi, Velis, we've got some ale for you."
Boy, am I thirsty. Emeraldi rubs his hands. Looks like you guys are just about ready to start a couple of good games.
I look at Emeraldi and go, I think you could have drinking that faster, sir.
Well, before I start, we do have just a smidge bit of business. Bring out that special bottle you have.
I pull out my last bottle of knee knocker.
Darren's face lights up, and he goes, "Oh, I would recognize that bottle anywhere, my boy." "Well, what are you waiting for? Hand it over, hand it over." He picks up one of his steins, dumps the ale that's in it out on the floor, slams it down on the, and you across the room, you hear the bartender goes, "Hey, stop that sacrilege!" as he sees the ale cascading to the ground, and a few alarmed dwarves like jump up, and one of them has the temerity, like dives under the table, and you hear him going as he's lapping up the ale on the ground, and Darren's kind of, "Bless you, my child." Boom. "All right, pour it, pour it."
I pour out, fill up as much as I can of everybody's mug, trying to get equal amounts, maybe give Emeraldi a little bit more than everybody else.
And for each stein of ale you fill, you see Darren going, "Baranar bless, Baranar bless, Baranar," and you can tell by the mountain of steins, of metal steins, like piled up next to him, that he's very well in his cups. Probably more so than you've seen him be, Emeraldi, in a while. And so he's very, relaxed as he goes, "Well, praise Baranar." "Well, yeah, okay." And he just chugs it down, slams it, and he goes, "Oh, forgot the most important part." And he slaps his knee.
See, that's what happens every time.
Yukon just kind of looks at it, and he drinks. He goes, "And he keeps drinking it. He goes, "Good stuff, good stuff." And then when Darren slaps his knee, he kind of looks at Darren and he goes, his knee's like up here, and he goes, he's like, "Whatever." So, my boy, you said business. This isn't business, this is pleasure.
What I'm about to talk about is pleasure. The delight of battle and conquering evil foes.
Dane just kind of snorts. "I thought we did that already."
That's what happens when you don't start off life as a paladin, start off as a cleric. You're not quite as eager to jump into a big good fight.
He looks at you with his one good eye, and he goes, "Or it could have something to do with the fact that I can only see half of you right now."
Emerald closes one eye. I see what you're saying.
He drinks another stein of ale. like Darren and Yukon, they're all lined up. Barkeep, more. Better make about 5 more. Yeah,
maybe you've got a good way to tell us about this proposition that we have.
Oh, Phyllis, please entertain us. Dane against Snort. He goes, yeah, could use some entertainment. Emeraldi, you catch some bitter undertones in his voice as well.
Dane, are you a little sad you're not at Mithril Hall?
What's there to be sad about? Lost an eye, got smacked around by Gith Yankee, barely survived a few months' siege. I don't even know, well, what's going on. Last time I left, I had to fight through enemy lines, only to... Forget it. And he just drinks another stein of ale, slams it down. He goes, where's those ales, barkeep? Darren just kind of looks at you, Emeraldi, and kind of almost imperceptibly shakes his head. Well, Velis, Darren says, you were going to entertain us.
Was Urhila the gal that Emeraldi had relations with in the Feywild?
You don't remember?
I know, but I'm asking out of character.
I have to look it up. Hold on.
Do you remember
Emeraldi
Emeraldi?
doesn't Emeraldi remembers the experience, but doesn't,
remember her name?
I mean, he does. He's just not going to tell you.
Elf.
Right.
Yeah. Urhela.
All right. Right before I start to tell the try to come up with a thing, I look at Emeraldi and I go, I was looking through my book earlier, my journal that I keep, and I found a name that I just that is attached to you, Gila. Is that a familiar name to you? And I reach into my bag of holding. I pull out this small keg of Urhila's fire spitter.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
And I go, so the name that's in my journal is also on this little keg. And I look at it, I go, is this something you'd like to share with your friends to maybe inspire them to join us?
Sure, I could let them have a swig of this interesting brew.
Oh, what do you got there, Emeraldi?
Gila's firewater.
Huh? He picks up another.
No, wait. Before you take a sip, let me tell you about its origin, because every dwarf wants to know the origin of whatever they're drinking. Now, this brew is not of our world. It's of a world where life is so powerful, alluring. Anyways.
Darren goes, arr. I'm confused, my boy.
I wasn't confused. But it's from the Feywild.
Never heard of it.
Don't worry.
But I'll trust you that it's a place. Yeah. It's a thing.
Yes. You go through a portal. It's, I guess, on a plane of existence. Just in a place to drink, in my mind.
Right. Okay. Sure.
Pour it out. Let's go.
Yeah. Oh.
So I I fill up their mugs as much as I can. I figure about half the keg's gone.
Yeah.
Small keg.
And you recall it's quite potent.
Yeah, I'm not having any.
So yeah, you pour it out for Dane, Darren, and Yukon, and Yukon kind of sniffs at it and goes, whoa. That
I
sounds.
remember it kicked my. I don't. Well, actually, I would have some because I don't remember it kicked my ass.
Yep, yep. And Yukon kind of smells it, and he just kind of. This is gonna be good, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I remember that night. It was so special.
Oh shit! Thank God.
All right. He, all three of them. And oh no, Darren's already quite inebriated, so he has disadvantage. And all right. Yeah, Bellish, you're fine. It's like one of those things. It'd be like drinking Tabasco sauce at this point. Your eyes start running, your nose starts running, you start sweating, but man, is it good. Yeah, Emeraldi, you are quite drunk after that one. It just like it's a mule kick to the stomach.
No.
And since Darren disadvantage rolled a 3, he kind of does one of these numbers. Oh, that's great. And he passes out, and Dane's kind of, I knew I could outlast that old man. Yukon, of course, he's like, oh, this got a kick. I like it. I like it a lot. Can I have some more?
I pour him some more.
Yeah. How much?
I'll fill up his mug.
Yeah, he takes another drink. Oh, yeah, that did the trick. Oh, I can't feel my lips. That's great. That's I mean, that's great. That's that's great. Emeraldi, he looks Emeraldi, he looks to your left and right. He goes, the one in the middle, Emerald. So this is not necessarily entertainment I was expecting, but it'll work. It was nice to see you aloft in the air a while ago. It was great. It was great. Did you see
a good
those
battle.
explosions? That was awesome. It was great. Why are you here?
Well, the forces of darkness are conspiring to use God's artifacts to revive an old evil god, and we know where they're attempting to do so, and we need a crack team to go defeat one while we go after another one, and there's 3. We can't hit them all at the same time. Where you and Goddard and Dane and Darren and maybe some others could lead to go attack this other one and wipe them out and recover the artifact while us, the protectors, go after another one. And there's still a third one. We got to find another team to go hit so we could try to stop these evildoers. Are you up for it?
He looks at you, Velis. Then he looks at you, Velis, and he kind of blinks his eye. I was like, oh, yeah. Looks back at you, Emerald, and he goes, well, I was heading home. It's been several years since I'd been there. I left to find my name.
Where is your home?
Spine of the world. Far to the east.
Well, how about this? I know I can't vouch this for my other friends, but with the airship, we could fly you in home in style.
Mm. He kind of looks at Dane. Dane's elbowing Darren, going, "Wake up, you old fool! We've got to talk."
Out of character, Emeraldi, and maybe not Emeraldi, but Velis would certainly remember, and Emeraldi might too, that the place we wanted to send this group to is Luskin, because we knew that Ukon wanted to go home, and that's the closest location to the spine of the mountains. And we're not going to be able to take them on the airship. That's the opposite way we're going. You would know all that.
After a moment, Darren kind of stirs once more.
Emeraldi's also getting drunk too, and he's kind of not really keeping all this in track either.
And Dane's looking at Emerald. He goes, "So where do you want us to go to?"
Well, Luskin.
Velis, you're the only one not drunk at this point.
Right. Emerald, let me handle this. Well, I know it's not a pleasant place, but Luskin is where we'd like for you to go. Apparently, there
The
is a
city of whores.
Wait,
I mean,
whores?
Sales. The former city of Sales.
Yes. Wait. No, yes, we want you to go there. There apparently is a group of bad people there doing bad things that need to be defeated and slaughtered, and what you do so well.
What kind of bad people?
Githyanki, the same that were here, and others.
Mm.
They're
Well,
working to bring Moander back from nothingness.
Darren, the when you mention Moander, that word seems to get through to the drunken stupor that is Darren right now. As he kind of looks at you, he goes, "I'm in." Wait, where are we going? Never mind. Tell me in the morning. Is it going to be fun?
Do you
It's
like
gonna
to
be fun.
fight?
I'm a paladin, ain't I?
Then it'll be fun.
Moander.
Paladin and a dwarf, so I would assume you like to fight.
Huh. Not all dwarves like to fight. Just saying. Fair enough. Dane, remind me in the morning. And his head plops back down on the table. Yukon's kind of looking consideringly at you two, and he goes, "I don't know anything about this Moander, and frankly, my tribe has not been involved in the issues of civilization, but it seems I owe you both my life several times over. If it had not been for you and your friends, there is no doubt in my mind that Darren and Ross and I would have perished on the airship. That was cool, wasn't it? And you did free me. I miss my family, but if this is what you want, this is what you require, then
I do want to ask, if something should happen to you, how would you want your family to know?
He drunkenly fishes around in a pouch at his waist and takes out this huge, well, huge to you guys, but normal size for him, ring, and kind of thunks it on the table. It's a signet ring. It's made of what looks to be kind of a mixture of silver and bronze. It's fairly well crafted. You can tell just by looking at it, it's well worn. It's very old. And on the face of it, there seems to be the sigil of crossed blades and sitting over a horizon. And he says, well, I guess you give them this. Anyone.
Where and who?
The Ice Spires is where you go. But only if I do not come back. You can show this sigil to almost any of my kin, or my tribe, or even my clan. They will know what it means. They will conduct you safely to where you need to be.
Who's your clan? Velis here can write it down.
My clan. Oh, my clan. Right. Well, I'm sorry. Okay, maybe that hit me a little harder than I thought. He kind of touches his lips. He goes, yeah, okay. So my clan, right. Well, my clan is the Ice Devils, but it sounds meaner than it actually is. Well, maybe not. Just show the sigil. You won't die if you show my ring. That's assuming you have time to show my ring. You'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. And when they conduct you to where you need to be, tell my father I died with honor. Or at least I tried.
And the name you found?
Longchain. Yukon Longchain of the Ice Devil clan. Well, anyway. Well, that's enough of that sentimental crap. Let's have some more ale. He pounds on the table and kind of looks around and he's like, screw it. He kind of stands up to his full height. He goes, my knees are hurting. And that's when you realize that he's not a young man. He's not a young person, I should say. He's not a man either. And you are beginning, notice for the first time that he's probably in his late 30s ish. Showing the fine lines of age around the corners of his mouth and in his eyes. All right, well, I think it's time to drink some more, he says. And as you guys continue to drink, going back to Beetledawn, Lycum, and Banner. What are you guys doing? You're heading away from the tavern. I'm not gonna say it again because my it's a long
Beetle
one.
turns to Dawn as soon as we're leaving and says, "Did you hear what she said about where we're going? Aside from it sounding like a really freaking awful place, there's Netherese history there. Maybe we'll find something."
Yes, I hope so. Only one way to find out.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I'm tapped out, so
Too.
Yeah, I think I'm
honestly.
going to take an early night tonight.
I think we've earned it.
Yeah, I think we've all earned it.
All right. So you head back to the city jail where quarters cells,
The
ironically
city
enough,
jail, my favorite place. to rest.
have been.
Gonna rest on the ship.
Do you guys want to go back to the city jail, or are you guys going to try and find an inn that's not too
No.
smashed?
I'm gonna sleep on our ship that's floating
Oh,
above the
yeah,
city.
you can do that too. It's floating above the city jail, kind of a
Yeah, I'd
silent
rather-
sentry.
Also,
I'll feel safer up there.
have a plan for
Okay.
moving things in
All
the
right.
morning.
Lycum, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'll be sleeping up there.
Okay. So you all return to the Silver Lining, and you turn in for the evening. Emeraldi Velis, how long do you remain at the tavern that you are at, there at the Hammer and Helm, before you attempt to make your way back to wherever it is you're going to go?
Maybe they pass out on the table and call it a night.
I'll stay there either as long as Emeraldi does, or if he passes out, I will hire a couple of guys to help me get him back to the ship.
Okay, Emeraldi?
I don't know. I guess it depends on whether Emeraldi is able to make a wisdom score to go get a good night, or whether he wants to.
And since you are already pretty sauced, that is at disadvantage. So go ahead and make a wisdom check. Fair enough. Yeah, no. Yeah, it's well past midnight. Darren, of course, is he's just out. He's out. You don't even know how many ales that he had before you guys came in. But that firewater, man, that just knocked him out. He's done. He's gone. However, Yukon and Dane kind of egg you on, and you devolve into this drinking game to see how quickly you could down ales. And it started off innocently enough as, one ale. But then Yukon, wanting to, being the Goliath that he is, says, I think I can down these 4 ales faster than you can down your 4 ales. And thus began, you're not, by the end of the night, you're not even sure how many ales all of you have collectively drank. But it is rare indeed when a dwarven bartender cuts you off, which is exactly what happened. And he says, new shipment tomorrow. No more ale. Sorry, guys. To which all of you kind of look blankly at the bartender, not understanding the fact that a dwarven bartender actually ran out of ale.
Emeraldi says, that's bullshit.
And indeed passes out after he says that with a loud thump. As he face plants into a pile of steins in front of him with a clatter. Dane laughs. Dane laughs at him. He goes, "Ha! I outlasted them all." He leans back and continues going back as he topples over and slumps in the corner. And next thing you know, you hear as he begins snoring, leaving you, Velis, the last man standing, as you do indeed manage to step outside, grab a couple of city guards, now wearing, once again, the Silverymoon regalia. Not regalia, the tabard. And they kind of begrudgingly, for a gold piece each, drag Emeraldi halfway across town. However, when you kind of pointed up at the Silver Lining, they just kind of dumped them there and goes, "Hey, I'm not lugging them up there." And not knowing what to do with them, Velis, you're like, okay. The next morning, Emeraldi, you wake up at the foot of the cargo net, draping down from the silver lining, staring straight up at the bottom of the ship as it's hovering above, having no recollection of having gotten there.
Us. Bastard.
There's a note pinned to his chest in poorly scrawled dwarven that says, "I'm in the ship."
Emeraldy looks down, tries to read it upside down. Yes.
Boy, this brings back memories.
Emeraldy falls over, can't read it.
And you pass out for the rest of the night until the morning. Next morning,
Next morning, an hour
everyone
before sunrise.
that is on the ship.
Wait.
Go ahead.
An hour before sunrise, I am waiting outside of the jail with my hood up.
All right. Yeah, you come down the ship. You see a passed out Emeraldy, kind of spread eagle below the ship, snoring.
And I wait for Banner.
Banner makes his way, gets up a little bit earlier, and heads for the small armory in the jail, and just grabs like some a chain shirt or some kind of medium armor that doesn't make as much noise.
Okay.
And slips into that instead of his own armor, and pulls a cloak over himself, same as Don.
All right. Yeah, you actually
Or a breastplate if there is one, but that
yeah.
seems
Unfortunately, you find the standard armor of the city guard, which is scale mail. As you're able to, and one of the passing guards there kind of looks at you questioningly as you pull off your own very fine armor and put on.
I don't wear it down there. I leave that on the ship.
Okay.
I just wear common clothes down.
Yeah. Then I mean he was still kind of looking at you.
Okay.
Questioningly, because you guys are fairly well known at this point, and well known enough that he knows without a shadow of a doubt you have much better equipment than the standard loadout of the city guard.
I just go like this, and then I go find Don.
He just kind of
Standing
shrugs.
right outside the front entrance with my hood up, stealthed and camouflaged. I'll wait for him to come out.
Yeah, you see him come out. He's
Lower the hood and up here.
Ben, you see Don as you come out.
I say, morning.
Good morning. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's go. How many of these barrels do you think we should grab?
Well, how many can we easily take with us?
I assume you can roll one, and I can probably pick up two, maybe.
I'll look at my spell list and see if I have any way of transporting more of these.
All right, so to be clear, you guys would know that the keep in which the Githyanki are holed up in is right here. It's the little island in the middle of the river.
There's an island? Oh, I see it.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I can roll one, but I'm not sure how I'm going to get it onto the island.
Here's an idea.
With us.
Let's
Maybe they have more of them on
I was
the
going to say, maybe they do. Let's go check it out. Maybe we can just blow up their arsenal.
That sounds like a good plan, making sure they can't use any of these barrels on anyone
You're gonna
else.
fucking start the war again.
Not if we kill them all. Anyway,
I thought you were against this when I brought it up the other day.
no, I said I was with you on this. I said I just didn't want to tell them that we weren't coming and then show up.
Okay, well, now I feel kind of bad about it, but, well,
Well,
let's
if
see
you,
what we can find.
do you not want to do it?
I think removing their ability to destroy cities like this one is a good thing.
I just don't like letting them walk away.
And I
After
feel
what they
like
did
the only
to-
reason people aren't willing to take that step here is because they don't want to take the risk.
That's probably true, but can the two of us really deal with everyone left? I mean, we could cause some chaos, and
Well, without moving the barrels, probably not. I was kind of hoping we could. That's why I suggested maybe.
well, how about this? Let's go there, and if they have a conveniently large stockpile of explosive barrels, we'll blow them up, and if they don't, we'll find something. I don't know, anything valuable they have, and we'll just take it and leave.
I think that's exactly the right idea. That's why I thought if we recruited some hardy dwarves so they could carry barrels, and they might be in on like the whole plan. But this works too.
I mean, we could just fly the airship over above the island and just drop barrels onto it. But
I mean, that's what I'd like to do while everyone's sleeping. What if we just blew the shit out of it, and then it's all problem
all right,
solved?
well, that's Plan B. Let's go and see. We can still do that even if this doesn't work. So let's go to the island and see what's there. And if it doesn't look promising, we'll just go to the airship.
All right.
All right.
All right. So,
We go to the other side of the city and don't pass the creepy vortex on our way to near the island.
yeah. Well, right now you guys are in the southern part of the city. Yeah.
Perfect.
We're good. We
Yeah.
can just
The ship is actually hovering over the jail right now, on the map. So,
Okay.
yeah, you managed to get through the city. It takes you a little bit of time, about 15 minutes. It's about a quarter-mile walk, a little over a quarter mile, more like a third of a mile walk.
Want to
And
get to the bank of the river?
yeah, actually, as you are approaching the bank of the river, make a stealth check,
Okay.
all right.
because you guys see in the distance the city guard, and you actually see a few ballistas lining the bank of the river, pointed towards the
I have my hood up, so I have advantage.
yeah.
I don't have disadvantage right
Good
now.
job changing your armor.
Okay. Yeah, you see a lot of city guard lining the bank of the river that you're in. It's like it's not like just a soil bank. It's cobblestoned and it's more like a pier, because you see along the side, or a dock, because you see along the side of the bank big concrete or block posts with iron rings in them, where barges typically tie off, because the river is one of their biggest trading methods of trade. And on the other side of the bank of the river, you see more ballistas and more city guard, all paying close attention and pointing to Silverguard Isle.
Is there a little boat, a little dinghy?
This is just going so well.
You look around, you don't see any boats or dinghies. Upriver, where just around the bend, you see in the distance the end of where the the moon bridge used to be. You see a line of barges that are tied together that's being used as a bridge. Big trading barges that would typically be going up and down the river at this point.
Well, surely there's a longboat somewhere.
Where's this bridge at? Is it? You say it's above the island?
Yeah, well, it's the moon bridge.
Oh, way over there.
Well,
Yeah, you guys are
that might be
roughly
a little
right here.
conspicuous Anyway,
Okay.
Banner, how do you feel about a quick swim?
Wait. Okay. Don, can you teleport from the island to the other land? Like, how far can you?
How far is it? I gauge the distance.
Because it is a river, but I want to know if it's like a super
I take
wide
out my
river.
rangefinder and look.
Guesstimate.
It looks like it's a little over 100 feet across.
To To the island or the other side
to
of the river?
to the island.
Okay.
Oh, that's
It-
it.
it's
Oh.
a-
I could easily
It's
go.
a very large river.
Oh, right.
It's a one of the main veins of trade that goes in and out of
I would prefer to save that
Toro.
capability
Alright.
for a quick escape.
No. I just wanted to make sure we
Okay,
could
fair
use
enough.
it for that. So
Easily.
yeah, let's
Could
do a
teleport
swim.
us almost all the way back to the jail.
I think I could hold my breath that distance. Really, we could go
100.
under. 100 feet's nothing.
Maybe to you. All right.
100. Well, just to be clear,
You're gonna be all right in that
Olympic
armor. It
swimming
looks
pool
kinda
is
heavy.
100. Is Olympic swimming pool is.
Olympic swimming pools don't have river currents.
I understand that. I'm just saying.
Okay, well, you're
cross and
Banner is also more athletic than any of us.
Well, right. All right.
All right, yeah, I'll slip into the water in between the guards when no one's looking. I'm gonna try just to.
Yeah, we're gonna
So
swim.
you're trying to sneak past the guards, slip in the river, do a whole commando thing of
We're doing an underwater commando trip
make
to the
make
island.
another stealth check because I have a hard time believing that
Two
people
just, like,
jumping
side
into the
over
river.
I'm not. We're sliding in. Can I
Well,
get advantage?
yeah, I know.
If I try and hold my breath, can I get advantage on the stealth check?
Well, no, this is to get in the river. We aren't in the river yet.
Yeah, I mean, there's approximately 600 guardsmen there lining the river,
All right.
and about 4 ballistas on your side.
Let's go upriver a bit, away from the guards, and then we'll slip in and let the current take us down.
That's a good
towards the
idea.
island.
Let's do that.
We go upriver a little bit.
All right. And
We're
done.
just gonna barge through the defense line.
Break the reeds off so we got a little breathing.
I was just gonna say, let's do that.
Okay, so we go upriver a bit.
Yeah,
and-
I need
I
another
glance
stealth
around.
check from you, Don.
Okay.
Okay.
Did it roll?
Yeah, as you're like, you went up river just a little bit to get away from the bulk of the guards.
Okay.
And you're a shadow. You're Dawn. You're a shadow flipping from shadow to shadow as you're going through the alleys and stuff. And Banner's attempting his best as he's kind of, you hear him kind of scuffing a boot here and grunting there as he's running and trying to keep up with you as you just kind of lithely move through the alleyways. And you quietly, find the right place where it looks like no one, is nearby, and you're like, okay, this is perfect. It's in the shadows. This building is on the river, and the wall kind of comes up. I can slip in there, and you slip in quiet as a mouse. And Banner, you go to slip in, and unfortunately you stumble on a on an upraised granite block in the cobblestone, and what ensues is a whoop as you kind of flop unceremoniously in the river, much to Don's chagrin, as you begin swimming across the river and kind of letting the current take you down river a little bit closer to Silverguard Isle.
I grabbed some driftwood or something so that we just look like passing driftwood as we float by the guards.
Yeah, unfortunately there is none. This is a
gonna
main
grab
river.
Banner.
This
Grab
is
Banner. I'm gonna
this
swim
is
right
like the
next to him.
Mississippi.
I'm gonna swim right next to. I can see the Mississippi out my window.
Can I use minor illusion to make it look like I'm hanging, like there's driftwood floating next
Minor
to me?
illusion.
Sure, I will allow that. But as you're doing so, both of you make athletics checks as you are trying to swim across the river and not drown. And
I'm trying to decide if I want to use Tides of Chaos on this because my athletics is not that great. Yeah, I'll do it just so I don't cause a scene. Use Tides of Chaos on. Oh, I'm glad I did.
all right. Yeah, you both managed to stay afloat, managed not to drown, but the river is cold. It's late fall, or early. It's mid fall. It's in like October type weather. It's kind of chilly, 50 degrees out, and the water is
I'm going to
freezing
continuously
cold.
use prestidigitation to warm my clothes in the water.
As
they'll
you
cool down again and warm up.
as you make your way across, and manage to catch the kind of the northern tip of the island, as you both wearily pull yourself up out of the water and kind of gasping for breath, your clothes a little waterlogged. Surprisingly enough, your clothes, Dawn, quite warm.
Can you?
I dry both of us off.
Okay.
Okay.
I say, okay, stick close to me because this will only work if you stay within maybe like arm's reach of me or something. And I wave my hands and I cast Major Image to make us both look like Githyanki warriors.
Okay.
I
We
forgot
can't get
were-
further away from each other than the area of the spell
Okay.
for it to work. But it's a 10-foot cube, I think. So as long as we stay in a 10-foot cube of each other, then we can
Alright.
both have it.
All right.
Stick close to Don.
So, the northern side of Silverguard Isle. The eastern, kind of northeastern side of the island. Kind of, let me show you here.
I did roll for my wild magic.
Kind of on this side of the island here, rises up to kind of this rocky peak, as the Silverguard Castle or keep is kind of built against that, and you are approaching the western side of
Hey,
the keep.
Banner, do you speak their language?
No.
Make a perception check, both of you, as you draw closer to the western side of the keep.
Okay.
Uh,
I wish I knew invisibility.
This is crazy. Okay, yeah. So, Dawn, you see figures moving. You can't really tell really any detail. However, other than your eyes are able to kind of pick out a few Githyanki on one of the southern towers, and one of the there's. Okay, so what you see, let me backtrack just a little bit. What you see is on the western wall, two square-like towers rising up, about 60 feet. On each tower, there's one tower about midway, and then the wall continues back. On the middle tower, that is resting a large catapult on this kind of movable turret. On the tower to the south, the southwest corner, you see a crew there manning a ballista that is also on a turret that is able to swivel a full 360 degrees as far as you can see.
Okay, is there a gate?
The gate is to the south, and it is being protected by two additional towers on either side of the gate, in which smaller versions of the ballistae, more like if you're familiar with history at all, more like scorpions, which is an old Roman weapon that they were used, kind of a mid-size between a ballista and a heavy crossbow. And these scorpion are kind of on turrets of their own.
so
And
Just-
they're being manned as well. Although you can only see one, you can only surmise that the defenses are mirrored on the other gate tower. Along the western wall, Banner, what you see is not just Githyanki, but the wall itself is manned by individuals that are strangely still and quiet. And for a moment, you don't recognize the fact that they are all zombies. and all of them seem to be wearing the garb of the city guard.
Don
Or-
starts to get angry at after noticing the zombies because.
I think I only noticed.
Well,
them,
okay,
actually.
if you tell me there's zombies.
Oh, I am gonna whisper. There's zombies. Out there.
Okay, now that Don knows there, Don will begin to get angry once more at the Gith, as that the reminder of all the townspeople they callously murdered.
So we're on the outside of a wall, like, and the gate is down here. But everything we've seen, we're not seeing the inside yet of the keep.
That's
necessarily.
correct.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
I could just teleport us
Towards
to
the
kind of
the northern side, you see the ramparts and the structure of the main living quarters of the keep, which seems to be a kind of a multi-leveled affair, very defensible, as it's kind of a tiered structure. And you see a couple of Githyanki up there as well on various levels patrolling.
How many times can you do that?
teleport us. About 3.
Okay. I think when I woke up this morning, I could do a shorter version and louder version twice.
Okay, well, I think there are 2 options. The safer one for us, if you and I teleport to the top of the wall at a point where no one else is at the moment, and then we can just pretend we're patrolling, and we can just walk down the wall steps like we're done.
And we can look around if we're on the top of the wall, too.
Or I could just teleport us to the other side of the wall and just pray that nobody's around there when I do it.
I like the option where we aim for where no one is.
Okay, alright. Let's look at the wall and find a place where either A, there are only zombies, or B, there is no one.
Wait, won't zombies notice us?
Yeah, but we look like Gith. They don't
But-
care.
Do zombies see or do they smell?
I don't know. Let's teleport behind them.
All right.
If worst comes to worst, we can always like push them over the wall or something. I'm sure they won't mind. Okay, we look for a spot of wall where no one is,
All right.
or where zombies are and no one else is.
So you should see on your screen a little bit of what you guys currently see.
You have a map for this? That's great.
I think he assumed we might actually go try and wipe them out at some point,
Um,
right?
You would be surprised at how many things are mapped. That's all I'm gonna say. I map everything because I have learned not to underestimate the power of curiosity. So yeah, stuff. You do notice on the northern side of the wall there seems to be an area there that's lightly defended by, and I hold that term loosely, by zombies.
All right, I point to that one,
All right.
and then I make like a so-so shrug.
They make a so-so shrug back.
All right, I nod, and I grasp his forearm.
We're going here, right?
Yeah, I was thinking like right here.
Okay. Looks like there's somewhere we can sneak in right here.
Yeah. Okay.
Too,
So we
so,
try. We
okay.
teleport up here.
Okay.
And act nonchalantly like we're Gith patrolling.
Yeah. We
Close
stand
together.
next to each other and like walk as a pair, like bored guards.
Charisma
All right.
checks.
I have to look at.
Mumble stuff about sure is cold up here and stuff like.
Yeah. All right.
These cute zombies sure do smell funny.
Did that one look at you?
So make just a deception check.
Do you have advantage because we look like Gith? I guess we wouldn't be able to
No,
make
I don't think
I-
that's the only reason we can make the check, I think.
I'm not gonna do advantage. I mean, you look
What
at
is it? Did you say deception?
yeah, deception. I mean, it's not stealth because you guys aren't necessarily stealthing.
Yeah.
That's okay. I have a plan.
All right. We have a plan. It's
I
going to
do.
be okay.
I have 2 fallbacks.
Yes! We are charisma people.
This is crazy. This is great. Yeah. Of course, the zombies. One of them kind of looks at you, and his face is slack.
I just kind of look at him and I like nod.
He just kind of, and he doesn't do anything. However, the guard there, not far away, right here. Let me see, right here. Now, he blinks a couple times and he looks around because you guys were there or weren't there, and then you were there, and so he's looking around and he just kind of shrugs, because you would recall every Githyanki has the ability to kind of misty step around. So
Exactly.
he just kind of shrugs. And,
Totally normal.
yeah,
I wonder why those guards are teleporting.
he continues along his patrol path.
Okay, we walk slowly and looking bored down one
Inside,
of the
right?
staircases.
Well, yeah, we're gonna go. If we're here, there's like a doorway here, I assume, to go in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, we'll just walk up and open the door like
Well,
the authorized guards we are.
is that what we're gonna do?
Well, I'll just follow you. You go where you want.
No, I don't. I just where I don't see.
Is
a
this like
staircase.
is this like the main building?
Yeah, I mean, it is. Okay, so what
Is
you
it the
see,
biggest building? I want to go to the biggest building.
this area is this is a dual layer structure. This is actually a roof, and there's a door in that structure. And as you kind of look up, you see that there's another structure up here that's a second floor.
Okay.
And
So it's
then
like it's the keep of
yeah, this is a second floor here, and then this where the roof is actually a third floor. That's actually, it looks like it's a single room, but you don't know what exactly that room is.
Okay.
I'll follow Dawn because I basically have to stay close to her. So whatever she decides to do, I just stick with her.
Okay.
So yeah, I just point and say, "Let's go in the big building."
That's where the barrels would be. Let's do it.
Not so sure about that, but not going to argue, Don. We'll go over.
All right. So
I mean, if they're gonna be anywhere, that's the only place they'd be.
Yeah, that's true.
you step into you step through the door, and you find yourself in a narrow hallway. The hallway has doors that are to the left and right, and then after about 15 feet, it opens up into this kind of a foyer area that's about 15 feet across, and it runs the length north to south of the main building there. The in the foyer area, which I'm assuming you go out to, to the south, you see another door inset into the wall, and to the north, going further in, is another small hallway that is leading off. You can't really see where it's
I
going.
just realized something. I should have had Velas cast tongues on me right before we came.
That would have been profoundly useful.
Are
We
you
could go
saying
back.
this in common?
I'm whispering it.
Okay.
We're whispering. That's the gritted teeth.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. And as you're kind of whispering back and forth, the door to the south opens up, and a couple of
I get quiet right away.
uh,
The door.
you what?
I quiet right away when the door.
All right. Yeah. The door opens, and from the door emerges a couple more Githyanki. One is pulling on a chainmail shirt, and the other one is in the process of strapping on his silver sword as they're walking out of what appears to be some kind of living quarters. And they just kind of look at you and nod as they pass.
I nod back to them.
Do the same.
What do you do? Yeah, they've passed. They've gone out. It was their shift.
All right. So inside.
Yeah, So,
we can go up and down, right?
yeah. So to the let me show you here. This is where I'm not entirely prepared, but I can show you the map. So take it with a grain of salt. So you guys are currently
Dimension door back. Get Velis to cast tongues on us and then come back.
you guys are currently right here.
No, we're committed.
Let's just do this.
In this foyer.
It seems like nodding seems to
To
work
the-
for them.
To the north, you see the hallway that continues on.
This hallway here? Oh, sorry.
To the
This
north,
hallway.
yes.
Yeah.
I find stairs leading down because obviously storage areas are in
Yeah.
the basement.
That's what I want to do.
So if there are barrels, they'd be in the basement somewhere.
You do not readily see the only staircase there is leading up.
Okay, then I go up.
I followed Don.
Okay.
It's the only way to
Don.
go.
Can you do the thing where you like? Well, never mind.
No, what?
Can you like teleport us to the basement, or would we just end up like trapped in the earth?
Well, it'll really hurt if there's nothing there, but I can try 8 feet down or something. Did this building look like there was a floor below the one where we are?
You don't know.
I try to use my knowledge of structures
wait,
to see
Don,
if I
can't
would
you
know if there is a building.
Didn't you?
Knowledge of
Wait, what
structure.
about that thing where you like looked at the ship from like down on the
Oh,
ground?
that's a really good idea. The problem is, I can only concentrate on like one spell at a time like that, so we wouldn't look like Gith. But if we find a room where no one can see us, I could do that, and then I could put the disguise back on.
Okay, well, let's find a room and I'll shut the door and I'll keep watch.
Okay, is it like a closet or something?
Funny you should say that, because as you go up the stairs, you find yourself in a very small room, and it has a single door leading to the south.
Okay, this should work. Tap me on the shoulder if someone's coming up the stairs in the next 30 seconds.
All right, I position myself between the door and the stairs and keep watch on both.
All right,
as much as I can.
I dismiss the major image, and I use my ring and I cast clairvoyance. How far up did we go on these stairs? Like 10 feet up?
Yeah, about 20 feet.
20 feet. So I will do it 28 feet down under the area that we had just walked through to see if there's anything down there.
All right, yeah, you do not see anything. Matter of fact, actually, let's see how that one works.
I teleport my scrying thing and just into solid stone. Doesn't do anything.
Yeah, you get the feeling that your eye never really materializes, or it briefly like materializes and then it's gone.
All right.
Okay. In that case, I'll immediately cast Major Image on this again. After like 10 seconds. Be like, there was nothing down there.
Okay.
Let's just go through this door and see what happens.
All right.
I open the door.
Yeah.
Confidently.
You find yourself on the upper level of where the guard at the upper level was patrolling, a rampart essentially.
Okay. What's this set of stairs right here? Does that go to the building on top?
Yeah, it does. It heads upstairs to the building, towards the building on top.
Okay. I go there. It looks important. Obviously, the tallest building is the one where the important things are.
Okay. Yeah. You head up the steps, and you don't necessarily see a door in at first, but as you continue around, you see the door to the north.
Okay.
Hey, wait
I
a
kind of-
second, Don. I feel like this is where the guy in charge is going to be.
That's okay. He probably has something really cool that we can appropriate.
Sounds legit. Let's go.
And if we take out their leader, they won't want to fight any more people.
Okay.
We go once. Just
As you.
one more thing.
Yeah.
Can you teleport through walls?
Yes.
Okay, let's do it.
This would be a lot
Assassins.
easier if we could understand what any of them are saying.
All right. So you're
We're
going to
two-
teleport in or
we're-
walk in?
We're
Or
mute
walk.
guards.
I think we're walking in as guards.
Yeah, we're walking
Alright,
in as
yeah.
guards.
You kind of take a deep breath, kind of nod at each other. You open the door, walk in, and find a kitchen.
Okay.
Is there any food in the kitchen?
It's a very well appointed kitchen, and yes,
Alright.
there is food there. There's a lot of food.
I grab an apple.
It's very
Oh,
hot there too.
I grab an apple and say, "There's no one in here, right?"
There is. As you step in, you see one of the Gith in a strange-looking kind of canvas apron look up at you, and he goes, "Ashokwa, oosh, oosh!" And he's like waving a ladle at you. And one of the other cooks, a female Gith Yankee, she kind of looks around. She goes, "Osamasa!" And she looks scandalized as you step in.
I'll put my hands up and make a calming gesture, and we back out the room.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would do.
All right, I'm going to say make another deception check as you do so. As this seems to be quite a breach of etiquette that you have just done.
It's not good.
Wait. I can.
But they
I
would
can-
they would be expecting us to be lying to them.
I give kind of a weak smile, calming.
All right, so yeah, Don, you managed to kind of bow a couple of times, and it seems to appease the male cook. However, the female cook, she starts screaming like a banshee at Banner, rears back and chucks this big wooden spoon that she had that is like caked with some kind of paste-like food, and it smacks Banner right in the center of the forehead, and you got this big old clump of food kind of there as you kind of poof, and she's like she's looking at you, and she's screaming at you, and she starts like walking towards you. What do you do?
Run out and slam the door.
We run.
And slam
Yeah.
the door,
Shoo. You run out, you slam the door. Dawn, you managed to look up as
soon as we close the door.
Mhm.
As soon as we close the door, I grab Banner and I dimension door us down to the stairway where we were in that little room.
All right.
Where I clairvoyance.
Yeah, and just as you do so, you manage to catch one fast backward glance as you do so, and you see the
wild magic surge happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dear God.
You see the guard that was patrolling that level just turning the corner. As you step through the dimension door, you feel your magic kind of uncontrollably surge in you as you step back through on the other end of the dimension door.
Banner finds himself alone with a potted plant sitting next to him.
Dear.
But only for the next 6 seconds.
Oh, okay.
And I actually, what is that? What does the language on that actually say?
It says, you turn into a potted plant until the start of your next turn. While a plant, you are incapacitated and have vulnerability to all damage.
I pick up the plant for those 6 seconds. I turn.
Which I assume means my concentration on the spell lapses.
Yeah. And as you do so, Banner, as you reach forward, you notice that your skin isn't the mottled brown that it was a few moments ago.
All right, I hide in the stairwell, obviously, because I'm alone in there anyway.
You grab the
Clutching a
potted
plant.
plant, running through the door as you hear above
No, we're already
you.
there, right? And
you-
like we're
running
in that,
through
no,
the.
we're-
Let me finish.
Okay.
Running through the door as you hear above you, the guard that was patrolling that level
Oh, okay.
seems to be going, Usha! Usha! As he seems to be looking for you. You step into that little room to the north there.
Okay. Don, is that you?
I appear back.
Oh God, I wish we had fan art of this.
I'm looking around like, what happened? Shit, you look like Banner.
You don't look like a plant anymore.
I wave my hand and make us look like two completely
Banner's holding either side of your face at this point.
I wave my hand. I turn us into two completely different looking Githyanki than the ones we were before.
All right.
Githyanki Knights. No, I'm just kidding.
Also, I'm going to use sorcery points to give myself another 3rd level spell because I have.
All right.
I hope I don't have to do anything else today because I'm burning through spells so fast.
This is hilarious.
So, quick question.
So I am. Yeah.
Are these doors?
Hold on just a second. I gotta look at something.
Oh,
real
20.
quick.
That means I regain a spell slot, right?
Ooh, that'd be nice.
I don't know. Does it?
No, it doesn't mean anything.
Oh, I thought you were serious. I was like, yes.
Though I do get my Tides of Chaos back because a surge happened. So that's nice.
Oh, there it is. I couldn't find a map that I was looking for. So that's.
Who puts the kitchen at the top?
I know, right? I just don't.
Is there like a room that we passed or anywhere we've passed that like an important person might be?
Well,
Like a
I mean,
captain or a commander?
okay, so the stairs that you went up, that is a building itself. Remember,
Okay.
it's a tri-level structure. So
Right.
So this is actually a building. You never went in there, but it does look
More ostentatious.
yeah, there are some arrow slits in the front that you may have noticed in passing.
Hey,
But
they
it
said
does
they
look
wanted to
more
escape this, right?
prominent.
How are they planning on doing that? Is there like an airship here or something?
I don't know, but hey, I just thought of something. If we can't blow this place up, what we should definitely get when you guys were down in the city, and that other ship, we saw one of the ships teleport. They used these special gloves that allowed the ship to teleport. If we can find a pair of those, our ship might be able to just.
All right, give me one moment. And I'm going to do a whole bunch of sorcery point recalibration
Okay.
with spell slots for a second. I have to transfer a lot of spells.
Concentrating really hard.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's
And let's try to speed this up just a
6.
tad bit.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, and then so it's 1, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I get one of those, and I have 1 left over. Okay, I've replenished a couple spell slots. Okay.
Okay.
We go to the place.
Yeah, we go to that second building, the one we haven't been in yet.
Okay.
Ready?
Almost. There was more than one reason why I wanted to take a quick break. I was not expecting all this, so I actually have to refresh my memory on a few things.
Like the loot inside the treasure chests we're about to find.
Going to tell anyone else about the treasure, right?
It depends what kind of treasure it is.
I was kidding.
Oh, wow.
I wasn't.
Everybody starts wondering why Dawn and Banner suddenly are throwing fireballs.
Have helms of brilliance. And the wand of the web.
They buy a mine outright.
We can buy Velis and Emeraldi's mortgage, and then they start paying us with interest.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Also, Andrew, I appreciate the beard game you got going on. It's good. Well done.
All right.
Yeah, it looks like you've been
So-
going quite a bit for yours as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jay's missing.
I know.
Almost a foot
Yeah.
worth.
Jay, you have quite the short face now. It's not nearly as long.
All right. Don Banner, what are you going to do?
We're walking out the door and then turning the corner and entering the middle structure, the one we haven't been in.
Like him, there's a creature behind you.
So, I had to kind of switch things up on the fly again, so grain of salt and all that. Okay, so is that the right one? Yeah, okay. As you step into the room, what do you see? You see several Githyanki. You see 4 Githyanki guards, and you see kind of this raised platform to the north end. You see several columns, support columns in this room. A Githyanki officer and a strange-looking Githyanki woman in black robes, both bent over a map on the desk. Oh, how'd that get down there? As you're looking, everyone looks up at you.
Is there anything else in the room, like furniture, treasure chests, desks?
Along the wall to the north, there's a couple of short staircases, and keep in mind this room is like open. There's no walls or anything other than these columns. There's a couple of short staircases that go up to this platform to the north side of the room, this raised platform, and which is where the desk is, by the way. And then beyond that, against the wall, is a weapon rack full of what looks to be silver Githyanki swords.
I'm sorry, I missed the middle one there. The thing before the weapon rack.
The desk that the Githyanki officer and this strange black-robed Githyanki woman. You've not seen very many Githyanki women.
Okay.
And this Githyanki woman seems to be very well dressed. Along the wall to the east is a couple more weapon racks full of Githyanki silver Githyanki swords. Along the wall to the north seems to be a couple of blue tapestries bearing the sigil of Silverymoon. There is no furniture here. This is very open, except for the desk. And as you both step in, the officer and this Githyanki woman, well, everyone kind of looks your way, and the Githyanki woman goes, Galasani.
I subtly step behind a banner so no one will see my hands as I quickly cast Dominate Person on the officer.
On the officer?
Yeah, the guy standing behind the desk. Actually,
Okay.
no, one of the guards, one of the random guards.
Okay.
Because it's a new spell, I'm going to actually click it. Oh, another wild surge happens. Oh, that was the wrong thing. Oh God, 3? That doesn't sound good.
Oh no! This is it.
It is good. For the next
Oh, this
minute,
is good.
you can see,
I can
any
see any
invisible
invisible
creatures.
Ooh.
Keep line of sight.
What? I'm sorry, what was that?
I can see invisible creatures for the next minute.
Okay.
If you have line of sight to them.
I know. I see every invisible creature on the plane.
So you affix your eyes on the nearest Githyanki warrior, I'm assuming. As
Whichever one is standing closest to the woman.
But
Okay.
But not the officer, right?
all right, yeah. You see that soldier, that warrior, kind of blink a couple of times, and I gotta look at the.
Band of luck -1 to his save. I don't care what he rolls. I have a DC 16.
60 was you can see within range. Yeah. While the target is charmed, you have a telepathic link. Oh. Within as long as two of you are on the same plane of existence. You can use this telepathic link to issue commands. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so he failed a saving throw, and you see him kind of blink a couple of times, and he smiles at you, and he goes, Gesaya, la Masia Maha. And he seems happy to see you.
Okay, I'm going to. As he's saying this under the cover of his speech, I'm going to say to. Do I know what he says? I have a psychic link to him. Do I understand? Just the gist of it.
Yeah, you get the gist. You know, the connection to his mind is as alien as his tongue, and you get mental flashes of very eerie and alien landscapes full of what seems to be impossibly enormous crystalline bones, and you know, with a backdrop of purple just as far as the eye can see. You see flashes of other things that you know, floating in what seems to be an endless purple void, and you see flashes of fleets, innumerable fleets of Githyanki airships, just kind of gliding through the endless purple horizon, and you get the strong sense of longing and home, as you know, coming from him as you pick up all of these visions or images from his mind.
I also. I'm as stupid as Don right now. As I cast the spell and dominate him, our illusion fades because it's a concentration spell.
No.
Now, this doesn't matter because the first thing I do as I cast it is I use my action to take full control of him, like I see out of his eyes and everything. I draw his weapon and I stab the woman through the back with it using the dominated.
I don't know why.
Okay.
I think we should leave.
Yes, we're leaving.
He does. I gotta look here. He does draw his. Wow, this is. Wow. All right. Well, you know, it happens. He does draw his weapon. He lunges towards the woman, who quickly waves a hand, and this arcane shield pops into place, and this sword smashes against it. As apparently not. As the well, you don't know exactly, you know.
That's fair.
But well, maybe it had to do with the fact of a couple of strange Githyanki warriors walking in too. You don't know, but she's not surprised as she throws up a arcane shield, and kind of these arcane sparks as he attacks, and in anger her hand distends as a lance of black energy comes out. Saving throw fails.
Do I get a turn too here with this whole thing?
And you see the warrior drop dead as
Oh,
this
God.
kind of this blight seems to cover his chest and wither his body as he just kind of drops and he's nothing but a husk. And she turns towards you, and what do you do?
Banner.
Banner.
What?
Go,
What do you
Banner.
do?
Do something. Grab everything off the table.
It's like really far away.
Use your movement. You can go and come back.
Okay, how far is the desk from where we're at?
God, you guys are killing me.
Actually, I know what I want to do. Actually, very much so.
Hold on.
All right.
So you
Good,
guys
because
are
I
at the
don't.
entrance.
I'm glad
The
you-
desk is 20 feet away.
Oh, okay. I run up to the desk. I snatched the map that they're planning on.
As you run up to the desk, you do come into range of the officer as he whips out his sword. You snatch the map and what?
And then I start running back.
All right. Yeah. He slams you. He rolls a 21 as he slams you for 11 slashing and 9 psychic damage.
That's fine. Okay.
As he scores your back as you're like running wildly across the room.
Don hasn't moved yet. Can we like reach out and touch hands and say, "Let's go"?
I can move on my turn too. So if
Yeah,
you're
you see the other Gith Yankee warriors who were surprised are scrambling, and each of them are pulling out crossbows and starting to level it in your direction. What are you gonna do, Don?
Okay, I take the dash action. Oh, I wasn't done. Sorry.
I grab Banner and I dimension doors really far away.
Okay.
I go back to the riverbank with all the guards and the ballista and appear right amidst all of them.
Yeah, you're able to do that. Well, wait a minute. No, she already used her reaction. You got lucky. Yeah, you're able to, and you raise a hand and desperately, will open a dimension door, grab a hold of Banner as he's careening towards you, map in hand. You guys fly through run through the dimension door and kind of look around, and all the city guards are kind of looking at you like. One of the city guards,
As you were.
a well-meaning halfling is like, "You all right?"
I look around. All the guards have like their weapons ready, right? Just in
Yeah,
case.
there's a couple of them that have their swords kind of half
I
drawn.
look over to them. I say, "Good response, men. If an enemy attack comes, you'll be ready. You all have passed." I grab Banner and I start walking away.
And all of them kind of look at you, and
I
the
give
halfling that spoke to you kind of look at the others, and one of the others go, "I don't know," as you walk away.
I look at Banner and I say, "We are never going to speak of this again."
I agree. But I look at the map.
Yeah, what
I
does the
just
map
see if there's
have?
anything of value. Like, are they planning to double cross us? Is it obvious that they're like gonna attack?
All you see as you
That make
glance.
this trip worthwhile.
As you glance at the map, you see it accurately outlines the disposition of the city guard on either side of the river. That's it.
Okay.
There's a few marks on there, over the Silverguard keep where all their forces are.
I can
There's
read
not
language,
very many.
though. Is there nothing on there and no clue into what they were thinking?
No, there's not very many. There's not very many. You do notice there's not very many forces outlined in the map, and just based on what you're seeing, what you have seen in your brief foray into the keep is almost the entirety of what they have left. You do notice that there seems to be, since you can read it, kind of an additional itemization of 3 Drake mounts and a few other forces that you guys didn't see, which amounts to maybe an additional 10 Githyanki warriors.
What is a Drake mount?
Like a drake that they ride.
Yeah, you guys have seen. You guys have seen them. The patrols, the Githyanki patrols.
Oh, those lizard
yeah.
things. Okay.
Once you explain to me what the map says, say, well, looks like our scouting mission was successful. We know that the remaining Gith don't pose much of a threat.
Yeah, there's
And
no.
we even managed to eliminate one of them.
And we
By
stole
proxy.
their intelligence on the city guard.
We did. Now they have nothing.
I agree. Let's never speak this again.
Okay, we head back to the airship, and I get in my room and pretend to be asleep.
Dawn, you are left with a lasting impression, though, with your brief.
Wait, I just want to ask: did they just step on Emeraldi when they went back up to the airship while he's still sleeping?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, pretty much. I used you as a step.
Yeah, as they do, you just kind of stir.
When they stepped on it.
Yeah, as they do, you kind of stir a little bit. You scratch your cheek and and kind of go back to sleep. Dawn, you are left with a lasting impression, though, with your brief telepathic link to the one Githyanki you dominated ever so briefly before he died. And it doesn't damage you in any way, but you definitely are left with perhaps kind of like this strange feeling of longing, and like, and you recognize that it was how he felt, but perhaps it changed a little bit of your perspective on the astral plane as you now gain a little bit of knowledge of it. So if you're ever doing a history check on the astral plane, you can use your charisma modifier to add to your roll.
Ooh. I will mark that down.
All I got was a map. So that was
My
awesome.
question is,
Noah,
how
good
much
job
experience
getting us
did we
through
lose
that.
on this mission?
Yeah, I feel like we earned some XP on that one. That's pretty good. Just kidding.
Was it?
Just kidding.
You didn't die. You didn't reignite the war. That's better than I thought you would do, to be honest.
The rest of you, even Emeraldi, start waking up as it is now late morning. You all wake up. Emeraldi, you see Banner and Dawn just throwing their legs over the banister there, the railing there on the ship as they complete their journey to the Silver Lining. Beetle and the rest, as you emerge from your various places of sleeping, also notice that Banner and Dawn are just returning.
As Lycom's waking up, he's doing his normal ritual of testing his abilities and seeing where he is against this wall that is forever his foe right now. And all of a sudden realizes that he has gained some new abilities. Realizing, though, that he is able to restore for this first day someone's memory of the Feywild. And so he quickly walks over to Beetle, who's, I'm guessing, is still a little bit of asleep because Lycom's a bit of an early morning guy. And he's like, Beetle.
What? Huh? What's
Just-
wrong? Who's dying? Oh God! She leans over the bed. She grabs a dagger.
And a vine comes up and like just wraps around the dagger to like try to blunt it a little bit just in case you do try to stab. But
What's happening?
Beetle, I've made a breakthrough, and I think if you allow me, you'll really enjoy this new regained ability that I have. can I cast a spell on you?
Oh.
It's
Yes.
It's like,
so I cast Greater Restoration on Beetle to help her remember.
Like the opening of a dam, as the natural energies like sends coursing through you, memories come flooding back of your time in the Feywild, of your feverish building of Tank, of the grudging respect of the elves there, of Tank destroying trees in play, of falling asleep whilst inside Tank. Unfortunately, those are one of some of the only good memories, aside from you shopping forays and stuff like that, as it's closely followed by the much darker recollections of finding the ruined city of MSOG, of the journey through there, of facing a archfey that seemed to be kind of dismissive of your collective efforts, barely escaping with Talia, as you suddenly remember, oh, yeah, she's a werewolf.
Beetle abruptly sits back down on her bed.
Well, did it work?
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad.
Wow.
And Lycum just kind of, with a smile, like a smirk on his face, just looks at Beetle, lets her sit with her memories, and nods and walks out.
Thank you.
He just bows his head.
As Beetle's still sleepy thanks trails after Lycum as he departs, this is where we're going to end our session.